Welcome to Pursuing Creative Endeavours with Friends. As you can, is it called that, Dan? I don't think it is.
Do you know what, mate? I'm going to change the whole podcast name
We'll just change it every time I do an intro.
Just change it.
Nobody will be able to find it. Nobody.
I like the Friends thing. The Friends.
With friends. With friends. Right, so as you could notice, we're in the room again. We've got Revrt on again. So if for some really mental reason you didn't like the last Revrt podcast and you don't want to see him again, then I would advise that you unsubscribe, do not watch our content, because this is a new, what would we call it?
It's kind
reoccurring.
of like a roundup. It's like a kind of a roundup, because isn't it? We're kind of like, because we're coming to like, am I right in saying it's like the 10th?
I think we're 17, aren't we?
So we've released, there will be 11 out, but there's like a second rasp one, right? Because he was here for that scratch jam. So we've done 10 unique people.
Yeah.
Cool.
During that time. So yeah, we're kind of coming to the end of like a
season 1, yeah. And I suppose before I was rudely interrupted because I did have more to do on this. Sorry. I think about this stuff over there. I think about this stuff. This is all pre-planned things. Nobody watched this on video, so anyway. So, if you didn't like that podcast, and if you don't want this reoccurring episode to happen with Revrt, then go away. We don't like you. We don't want you. Unsubscribe. See you later. This is happening. We had so much fun with Revrt last time. It would literally, we needed to do it again. There's just something.
Personally, I think he's the best reoccurring dream I've ever had.
Oh.
You mean you haven't been reoccurringly dreaming of me?
That sounded nice until you said, I don't know how. Do you want me in your dreams?
It was until I grabbed my manhood inappropriately.
That happened.
Went wrong.
This has gone wrong.
Then you suddenly realised, oh god.
This has gone really wrong. I was literally supposed to just be making a point that we really like Reva's podcast, and Dan's talking about his genitals in relation to it.
I'll start by saying, here's to the.
There we go. Here's to Dan's wet dreams.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna say,
No, you weren't.
here's to the Roundup episode, and you just went full pelt with that one.
No, he went full pelt. I was just commenting.
You're
bringing us back.
So let's bring us all back in the room. Let's bring us back in the room as the person who totally destroyed that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. He's acting all innocent, like it wasn't it.
We've actually, we've seen quite a lot in those 10 episodes. Like,
It was mental.
I mean, there are a few things, right? Like immediately remarking on, right? Like the first is, one, I can't believe 10 people gave up their time to talk to us.
2 hours at a time. Yeah. 2 hours at a time.
Firstly, amazing. Like that's so cool. The second thing is, people have then given up 24 hours of their time nearly, to kind of listen in on it, which is awesome. And a huge thank you to everybody who has listened and continues to listen. It's so cool. But then there's also just been like a massive variety. Like, like we've had it from the kind of the endless battlers.
Yeah.
Like we've had battlers from the 90s who've come back in the 20s, like 30 years later to battle again. We've had people who've been in battles consistently never won, but gone on crazy crazy stories with Fatboy Slim and God knows what else. So, and it's like all these like totally different experiences, all from the same pretty weird little niche scene that we kind of like have.
Yeah, totally.
Is pretty nuts. Like,
well, I mean, I've said this not on the podcast. I don't think maybe I've gone into it a little bit, but the beauty of this podcast, even though it's framed within the Turntablist, scratching on records, sort of hip hop, it's not really about that. And it's never really been about that. It's about the top sort of. I'm not being too nice to you, Liam. The top sort of the top like 0.1% of the population that have the skill. I'm not saying it about you, I'm saying it about everybody.
Well, it's still flat. Of course, we're including everyone.
Everyone,
in
not
the
me, of course. I'm the only one that doesn't come into this. But a very small percent.
It's still worthy though, mate.
They like me, they hang around me, I'm taking it basically. But yeah, the small percent of the population that get really fucking good at everything. But not only get really fucking good at everything, but are able to be that good on a stage in the most inconsiderate like situation in front of a bunch of drunk people and still manage to do that, get slammed, get embarrassed, literally walk away from there nearly in tears and then go, no, I'm good enough. and get back on the horse and come back and do it again. It's just, do you know what I mean? It's been more an explanation of an exploration of those sorts of people walking through music.
Talking to Static, recently, like I felt like a lot of the Static conversation, like some of the key things that came out there was just like resilience.
Yeah, it's like what the hell?
Jordan's resilience is like I've known Jordan the first time.
You set it up, that podcast. I think.
I mean Jordan, like he was one of the first guys I thought of that you should get on. He was well, I was listening to his episode and it made me kind of go, oh god, like because he was talking about the 2016 World Final.
Yeah.
Was he in? Was he in the 2016 World Final UK?
I think he was.
Yeah.
Was that the one where Richie had pulled out? Because that might have been his first World Final.
Yeah, that was it. And I had no idea because that 2016, that was my first DMC that I'd ever gone to, and it just seemed a bit. I was like thinking, oh god, I went to the one DMC where Jordan got kicked, out of it. But that's no shade on him at all.
Oh my god,
he's come back. He's just proven that he just with resilience, like you said, and time, he's just proven himself to be as worthy in the competition as anyone else, man. Like,
totally.
It was
do you
really
know what
cool.
I loved as well? I loved the honesty of because he said to me we did a little bit of a sort of follow up that made up part of the episode, and he said to me, he said, yeah, it was about, I can't remember what year it was, but it was several years after that one. He was like, yeah, I started to actually enjoy myself.
I heard him say that, and I think about when he started, and I'm thinking, Jesus, dude, like to have like to suddenly 6 years after battling to then suddenly start to enjoy it. It's like I don't know if I could do that to myself.
But that was the thing though, but he said, it's like you come away from it and you've just learned so much. That's the kick. The moment's painful, and actually, like I think most things in life where you're learning something, most of the time it's painful. The moment that the mistake happens, the failure happens, the whatever, it's normally afterwards that you get past that and you go, oh, actually, and you got something to work with and you develop. But it's really interesting because so many of these guys have been in battle after. There's not been a single person that we've spoken to yet who just rocked up and killed it.
No.
Every single person, there's a paying your dues. You're
there's an up and a down.
You're coming in. It takes you. You fail the first few times, then you place eventually, and then
most of all those episodes.
The stars align.
Yeah, exactly. Most of all the episodes I've listened to, there's whenever there's been a mention of, I like if they had any kind of like expectation of like, oh, I've got this. And it doesn't go the way they expected, and it just totally. they go, oh, not you this time. Oh mate, I can't. I can relate so much to that feeling. That feeling, it really sucks.
It's so painful, man.
Yeah, because you devote so much of your time to, like months and months of preparation and practice to be debuted to a crowd of people for 6 minutes.
Yeah.
It's such a kick. I'm just gonna say it right now. It's such a kick in the dick. It really is. To like yeah, you're nearly there, but not you this time. No. It's like okay, right, okay. Right.
What I liked about Peanuts, right, is he in the same breath he goes there to win, but in the same breath he goes there to do a performance.
Yeah.
And he's like got this really clever way of like, I'm building this to win the world, right? But if I just go up there and I pull it off and I'm happy with what I've done, then I'm happy and it's not wasted. And that is absolute genius.
I took so much. There's been so many of these episodes I've taken so much advice from, because I think it's well and good taking in the moment, but when you have people, which I will go on record and say have definitely more experience than me in these battles, taking on their advice it's so paramount. Like even the things that Tommy and Static said, like just all the topics in every discussion and through that podcast was just so relatable, but also it was really good to understand to have a different perspective on when you go into a battle. Like my perspectives of going into battles was just try your best, and like it would be wicked if you beat this guy. But then the thing that I related to so much was I really got to think about like there were so many things that I concurred with Tommy. Like it's all well and good going into these battles, and if you get into the UK final, that's great. But you do generally have to think about,
can I beat the main guy,
the main world champion? Look, with what I'm doing, with what I'm producing at this battle worthy of being on a world stage? Because let's be real, this year's competition, you're not regardless of who wins the competition this year, I can't imagine anyone would want to completely revamp, or if not tweak, a fair proportion of their routine leading up to the world final. It'd be too stressful, because because what you've debuted, I'd imagine you would want to be making so that it is worthy of being on the world stage, rather than going, oh, I'm going to change this up, because you can't. Because I feel like if I personally, I'll say, for example, for me, if I was to win this year, I don't think it would be worth me changing anything without feeling like if I changed it and if I present it and it doesn't work, then I go, oh fuck, what if I stuck with what I originally debuted?
Yeah.
Because that could have been the winning
it's like
thing.
in Deal or No Deal when you choose to swap the box.
Well,
exactly.
So me is a sort of, I love sort of tactics, and I love thinking about how strategically to be most successful in a situation, whether that be my own demise or what's the fastest way to get out of the shop, or how am I gonna clean my house most efficiently and manage to do all my other jobs. I'll always look at something and go, okay, this is the end goal. This is how I get to the end goal. How am I going to get there and then get there? And then how do I get there from getting there? And when you were talking then, my brain instantly went, well, okay, so if you've got a routine that's going to win your UK, right, then the only way that you can do your best of best in between the UK and the world is you would take your best segments from every set you've ever done and you put them all into one group and show the best of your best of your best for the world. And I'd say that would be the most efficient, because you have your experience, you've tried it out, you know it's good, you can do it, and you can very easily just go slot,
you have to have had a lot of experience to do that, though.
I think it comes from your self-confidence in what you've made.
Yeah.
Especially if you're talking about taking segments from
previous
routines.
So maybe not even previous routines that you'd publicly done, but previous sort of like, I did this at home, I really like it, I never battled it, that section was absolutely amazing, it would work really well here. So I'd just be going through all of the recorded content I've done, and I'd be essentially DJing my own routines and putting them together to amalgamate into the ultimate break.
On that topic, there's also I think a really fair thing to factor in is also, the judges have the final say, but being in a different country with a different audience to the one that you were in when you won the UK final, there's that to consider as well. And thinking, okay, I did this routine to a UK audience.
Yeah.
Is the fact that I'm now performing this to, we'll use this year, for example, a Japanese audience, is that going to hit the same way?
I mean, that is going to be crazy, because the Japanese, they're some of the most technical like DJs in the world, right?
Yeah.
That is daunting.
Yeah. I know for a while, I'm just going to say it right now, if I was to win the UK Championship and go to Japan, I'm just going to say this, I'm humble enough to know that I would be, if you've got, guys for example, even if you've got Fumi at the top of that, which I doubt, I will be extremely shocked if he's not in the Japanese final, because he's been in the world finals, I think, fairly consistently, well, at least for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
I'm very humble with the fact that I know that I probably won't win the world title, because the Japanese are so good at what they do. I'm acknowledging the skill set that's in Japan, and
so technical. Man.
I just also I
Unreal.
want to give credit where credit is due. I feel like I was listening to the DMC podcast with Antrix and D Styles, and I concurred with them. They were like, "Yeah, Fumi's like way overdue a world championship," and I fully agree. I literally was like, "Yeah, when the fuck is Fumi getting a world title?"
Mate, that one last year, and he's like the whole like body trick with his chest.
Yeah,
like was just cool.
Yeah.
Like I'd never seen anybody do that. Like he brought back some old like cool records as well, like My Love. My Love hasn't
Blakey
been
also
flipped for
reviewed it
years.
as well. Blakey reviewed it as well, which I like everything that
I
Blakey
like
was
Blakey's reviews, man. They're wicked.
They're really good.
Yeah,
He was
they're
talking
cool.
about a lot of aspects on Fumi's his DMC World Final, his third place DMC World Final, and there were so many aspects of that where I fully agreed with. Like, I think my favourite part of the routine was just the self-confidence in his body tricks at the beginning, where he just does these really exaggerated. If anyone listening to this, and I imagine anyone listening to this podcast has already seen Fumi's 2024 World Championship routine. He took third place from it. Personally, in my opinion, I felt like that was the winning set. I like much respect to Fly. Like his set was amazing, but my taste personally, and I think this also reflects like what Tommy said in like different judges, different results.
Yeah, different day, man.
I personally found Fly's routine so chaotic. I just found it I found it so everything's so quick. I'm like, it almost begins to, the technicality of it begins to override the musicality.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, there were definitely some musical parts to it, but it, for me, just, and this, it's literally just my opinion. I know my opinion isn't like the be all end all of everything, but it's just my perspective on it. It was just too. Whoa, chill out, mate. Fucking hell.
Is
It
the
was
whole
like,
thing on 45 as well?
that was it as well. I was like, that makes it like so. I mean,
Makes
that
it frantic.
It makes it really frantic. It does make it a lot harder to juggle.
Do you know? Wait. Right. So people have been going, I did it on 45. He did it on 45. I was like, oh, I like juggling 45s. I'm not very good at it, but I like doing it. And I watched it, and it wasn't the records he was playing on 45. He was just playing them at 45. They weren't speeded up.
Yeah, it's not.
like what?
So it's not really. It's not the tone of the actual record that's sped up. It's the actual dealing with the speed of it.
Yeah, but why would you do that?
It was
I don't. It's to
It was
show
a
off.
pointless dick swing.
It is. It's just to show off. That's
It was a
it.
pure dick swing.
Like, do you know what I love? When the old guys, obviously I all love the old guys, that's all I ever talk about. But when the old guys were like, they start doing the slow down half speed touch pausing.
Tap pausing, yeah.
Tap pausing. You put it on 45 and then you nearly achieve its original tempo but get to take it apart. Right? Now that's why you use a 45. And I was actually quite angry when I saw he was just spinning at 45.
I think there were other creative uses for the 45 as well. I mean, so A-Track for a Bay, the clothing line, he did this is quite a long time ago. This is like, I think this actually is just at the beginning of the Fool's Gold era. Like, so this is when he's just gone into like electronic stuff, and he was mashing up a lot of like, like kind of crunky Miami bassy kind of like rappers with like electronic music you'd recognise. He did this thing called Dirty South Dance mixtape, and at the end of that he tears up My Love. the thing that he does with it
I think I
is.
remember you telling me.
I think I've
not
shown
telling me.
this to you.
You were talking to. I can't remember who it was you were talking to.
See, look, a podcast is that good. Liam thought you were talking to him.
Yeah.
No. It's been a long day, man. It's been a long day.
Deep into his soul, mate.
Yeah. No,
Straight in.
I was listening to. I think you might have been talking to John first, or Tommy, about it. You were talking. It was like that Justin Timberlake.
It's a Justin
My Love.
Timberlake thing, My Love, and because I think he used to tour with like Kanye West or someone, and he used to do
Yeah, he
this
did.
routine. And but anyway, it's so sick because what he does is he plays with it at normal speed, and then he kind of as it stops and he taps like a sample thing that goes a track, and then he flips it to 45, and then he's like completely changed the tempo of it because of the structure of the beats. Like so I love this juggle so much. I spent the time.
Can you do it?
Doing it? Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
So-
You can do it.
So
do it.
I figured it out myself, but it's so clever because what he's done is the way the beats are structured on that. You've got boom boom ka,
Timberland beat,
boom
yeah.
boom ka, right? So
it a Timberland
it's a
beat?
Timberland beat.
Yeah.
It's a really simple beat. It's all totally straight. But then what he does is so he has this like he flips between them and lets the record carry on round. So he continues to follow the chord sequence but doubling the amount of time. But it's at 45, so it's a higher pitch. But because the original track's got quite low pitch to it, it doesn't sound like squeaky. It just sounds
But it's got
sounds
that
like a rave remix. And then he
Hasn't it?
because he
the
chases.
chord?
Yeah, with the chords, and because he's following the chord sequence, because he's actually moving through the record every single time, you can still retain the like musical value of the song, but it's faster. So when he's doubling things, it doesn't really feel like it's going that much faster,
Right, okay.
much slower. Because like if you double things, then you really feel the slowness of the track.
Yeah.
Because he's put it at 45. It's up a pitch.
Yeah.
But it sounds like a deliberate key change because he's done this whole breakdown bit and then had like the A track thing just before it sort of drops in.
Okay.
And then what he does is because of the way the beats are, he then does this kind of chase, which turns it into a 4 to the floor beat because it's going boom, boom, and then he's swapping to the other one where the snare would be, and then there's a kick in it. So it just goes kick, kick, kick. It goes kick, 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 and then he's playing with the effects and stuff. It's absolutely sick.
I'm gonna have to check that one out.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
You won't find a video of it anywhere. Right?
Well, I'd have to make you do it for me then.
I can show you the juggle, but the listen to his version of it in the end of Dirty South Dance. I'll send you it. It's absolutely sick.
I'll have to
But that is
listen.
another amazing use of 45 because he's not tap pausing or anything there. He's just like created
He's
a
just letting it go,
whole nother part of a song. You know.
But you know what's funny
So
is
cool.
like on the topic of that beat and Fumi, he actually used that beat in his DMC routine as well. He did.
I thought that was ringing a bell.
He did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
did.
did.
He
Use My
used it
Love,
at
yeah.
45 as well, but he did it in a. I think he managed to. I think he must have done a pre-record stems recording of it. Unless anyone out there can probably correct me if that's not right. Or
We
true.
won't know if they do anyway.
Well, I don't know.
worry
Yeah,
about it.
probably, I mean, yeah, he probably won't be listening to this.
We won't be looking at comments.
But basically, he was beat juggling just the percussion at 45.
Yeah.
And just it was like the kind of like the kind of like beatboxing kind of like elements of the beat.
He always does that, doesn't he, Timberland?
He was like juggling it with them
just before the drop. Yeah.
yeah, and then brings it back down to 33 out of the juggle.
Yeah.
But he did it when you watch it live. He does it so smooth to the point where it was like I kind of just wanted to do like a kind of like
Yeah.
Well,
fair
Quest-
play, man.
And that's the other thing about that beat, right? Is it goes boom, boom, and then there's a big bit of space, right?
Big up to Dan's kids.
Yeah, that's my kids there in the background.
The elephant in the room must be addressed. This
after
is
that-
a working house. Sorry, Dan,
That's
I'm
all right.
blocking you.
After that snare, there's just synth for like a good like beat and a half, and like what it gives the juggler the opportunity to do is you can play with a record because there's no actual like kicks and snares in there. You can just flick the record forward and flick it back, and it goes woo, woo, without introducing a whole load of like horrible, like when people do rewinds and it's like. And it's like, oh, God, that's horrible.
I like all those.
Yeah, well, it's cool, but it's really difficult to make that like
Musical
and in time to something. without like fiddling with EQs and stuff, which you obviously can't do when you're juggling. So it enables you to then have like kind of quite mad platter play in there like as well, because you're able to sort of like spin the record in all kinds of ways, and it just sounds really crazy.
Well, Quest sent me a video of Fumi, and it was his what's the tune? Do 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 do.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson.
Oh well, Billie Jean.
Billie Jean.
Fumi, that's what it takes for me to remember things.
That was Renner.
Was that Renner? Oh right, okay. So let's move on to Renner.
Renner's juggle of Billie Jean is. Oh
right. So Quest sent me a video of that and said, "This is
it's next
the
level.
new messiah of juggling."
Yeah.
Is he in this year?
No, we won't. I don't know because DMC haven't released
who's in the Japanese one.
If he's in this year, the world final is going to be fucking crazy.
Because like everything that guy does is mad, and like Quest was trying to explain to me what he was doing, and he was like, "There's future strobing going on there." I don't know what a future strobe is. Do you know what one is? Do you know what one is?
I'm still
unless
stuck
he's
in
using it as like
2025.
this is the future of strobing.
No, he was like. So I watched it and I tried to understand it. Now I misquote people all the time, and I actually managed to corner Quest at the last scratch.
Is that where he's doing
and
the...
force him to like come on the podcast. So we've got him coming on the podcast, so he can explain this.
Okay.
But it was like, he was strobing, but then he was moving the strobe forward and then holding it, strobing up to that point, and then strobing, moving it forward, holding it, and then strobing back into the same place while holding it. Yeah.
He's epic at remembering places on records.
Yeah, like
It's just
his
unreal.
juggle, dude. I remember seeing him at the. When did he win the world title? I think it was like 2017 that he won. 2017 or 2018. No, it was definitely. I think it was definitely 2017. I remember being in the audience watching his world final set, and I went up there with Asian Hawk.
Yeah.
And Ollie Asian Hawk is not someone to. He's a very
Yeah.
Ollie won't mind me saying this. He's very reserved when it comes to.
I'll say it about him, right? Because I've dealt with Ollie a few times, and getting a rise out of that motherfucker is impossible. And honestly, I can get rises out of people whenever I want, and I've consistently attempted to get a rise out of him.
Anything remotely to do with the battle scene, he has his reservations. Yeah. Because he's been in so many battles.
Yeah.
I remember being he was stood next to me while we were watching Renner's set at DMC 2017 World Final, sorry. And I remember Ollie there's a juggle that Renner does of Funky Cole Medina by Tone Lock right at the beginning, where he's juggling just the it sounds like the bongos or like the kind of like the cowbell. And I remember as soon as he started juggling that cowbell, I heard Ollie go, "Oh, like that, like that over the sound."
That's what it takes.
That's what it takes. I heard him go, "Oh, like that over the top of like everyone in the audience." The whole audience went berserk.
Yeah.
Because he grabbed an element of the tune that no one was expecting and made it sound
the centre of attention.
Yeah, it made it sound wicked as well. That whole routine was just completely flawless. It was elements of it were simple to an extent, but it's some of the simplicity in it that made it beautiful.
The thing that gets me about Renner, like there are some things that are like super impressive, like in that Billie Jean thing where he's strobing, but he's also doing the up faders.
That's the point. Before you get to the point, I've remembered what it was. So that point when he's doing the up fader stuff, he's holding it back and he's strobing and holding that sample back, and then he lets this one go and holds that one back, and then that. I think that's what Quest meant by future strobing. Yeah,
so he does a thing where he has on the left hand side he has the hi hat, and he basically rubs back and forward to create the hi hat while he plays the on that side. Yeah. But to do that, it means you've got to. So where you would normally swap between them. So you'd normally. When you've got your records, you're normally, when you're moving to the left, the right hand is doing the crossfader. When you're moving to the right, to do that one, he has to do everything with one hand.
Yeah.
So while the other hand is just doing this, so he's moving the record back slightly further than it needs to, with the amount of time it takes for his hand then to move to move the crossfader in so that it's bang on the beat. So he's juggling out of time.
Yeah.
Is probably what he's getting to, because what he's doing is he's having to move further away. So instead of being on the 12 o'clock, he's going to kind of like just before the 12 o'clock, which is long enough for him to move his hands in time.
I did that when I hurt my left hand.
And then he's doing that he's then tap pausing, because the snare is the distance, is a short distance. So he's then doing that, but with a tap pause. So he's got like the pullback and the tap pause and a one-handed juggle going on while on the left hand
he's rubbing the snare. Yeah.
But the thing about him is like he does some really complicated stuff. But actually, like he did like, I can't remember what it was for, but he did like an hour-long mix of loads of his juggle routines. It's on YouTube. You can watch it. You have to search for it a bit.
That's got to be a hard listen.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
A whole hour of juggling.
But it's basically all of his routines back to back.
I'd sleep to that. I would sleep to that.
And seriously,
Really?
he's so tight. He's so unbelievably tight that an hour, and they're all like really good. There are a few like small things in there where you're like, oh, I just about heard that. But that's because I'm obsessed with this stuff and I know what's going on. And I've seen him do it in loads of other videos. So I know that, that bit was just slightly out. It's like, mate, it's an hour long, like intense juggling, like at world class.
Oh, wait, is it live recording?
It's a live recording, yeah.
What?
Yeah. And you can watch it on YouTube. It's quite difficult to find. I'll find it. I'll send it you.
Make sure you do, please.
But like, but you watch that and you're like,
Can you imagine if you made one mistake?
A lot, yeah.
At 56.26.
Right, back to the beginning.
Shit.
Oh, mate.
Right, back again. Yeah, it's like what we didn't know is that he's at. If you look very carefully, you can see him age 15 years.
Do you know what? So on this subject, right? So I did a friend's birthday party on Saturday, and I'm by no stretch of the imagination good at juggling. In relation to the people I'm either sat between or hang around with when it comes to this. But I can do some pretty interesting stuff, and I can impress a layman as such. You know what I mean? So I'm good enough to do some tricky stuff. But when you play live, they don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I was there doing some bits, and I was like, I thought I'd do something quite tricky now. Do you know what I mean? I'm good enough to do it. Like, and I pulled it off. Nothing. Did a baby scratch slightly off time. They were like, oh!
I've had that before.
And it's like, and it just further totally like demeans this whole process, because unless you're good enough to know what's happening, you don't know what's fucking happening.
But then the flip side of that is
Go
like,
on.
if they don't know what you're doing, you go, oh great, I can carry on and do more of this then.
Yeah, but it's
Satisfy myself.
But it's like, so it goes back to the argument of sacrificing rhythm over technicality, doesn't it? Because when you're performing to a layman or somebody that's a little bit interested in this, right, you'll get much more of a rise from them pulling off something that is technically perfect, less complicated and more rhythmic than you will doing something crazy. So as we're coming up to the DMC, and these two are competing, by the way, I'm doing this purposely. I've been excited about this. I love putting Dan into conflicted competition situations.
You're not going to get that.
I'm going to get you rising on this. If it takes me 2 years and we're still doing it, I'm getting it.
Dude, like, literally, I was listening to...
and don't think this conversation is going to stop me from going where I was going, Liam. So carry on.
Okay,
I'm remembering
I
it.
think you've,
But basically...
I think you've got to enter the competition.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. No way. No, I'm not.
You can't stoke the bull from the side of the ring and just...
I see myself as
not participate. It's like literally
No. I see myself as a food critic. I go into people's restaurants and I shit on their food and I enjoy it blowing up in front of me. Basically.
It's literally like going to like a bull ring, stoking the bull, and before the what's the guy with the
matador.
It's like before stoking the bull before the matador goes. Like, right, hit him now.
That's quite courageous. I either like set my friends on each other.
Some of these battles are.
Well, I don't know. But normally they're across the screen for me, so there's no real consequences. Me and Dan are really good friends. You and me are really good friends. So there's no real danger to me apart from just getting a bit of enjoyment. So I'll go back to what I was doing.
I was listening to.
I've got to let you do. I've got to let you do this now before I get to my point. Are you going to continue to
go for it?
Hold on to Buck Wild, because that's just come out actually, and it's a really good podcast.
It's really good.
So,
awesome.
As we're coming into the DMC competition and Undisputed as well, of which you're entering and Dan will be judging. So you're going head to head. Dan will be judging you in this. You're actually in the main competition actually. Dan
Unstoppable.
in Unstoppable. What did I call it?
Undisputed.
Undisputed. That's what I'm renaming it. No, right. So all of the knowledge that we've all gained from these podcasts. So Dan was asking John First how he judges. So Dan knows how John First judges. John First is a judge this year. You have obviously watched the podcast. You've got all of this knowledge about how to win a DMC from the guys that have won it. Do you know what I mean? Where are we now with the routines? You know, are you going back to rhythmically tight, less technical, or are you going mega technical to try and beat Peanuts? Where are we both? Without. Bearing in mind, I've seen both of your sets as well, and I'm not telling you.
To free up the conversation, there's lots of stuff I won't say because I there's something about being able to deliver the surprise of it, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
but,
I agree.
But what I would say is, like the learning I've had is I'm going to take a lot of risks.
Are
this
you?
year.
Okay.
Yeah. So
random's in your heart.
Random's living in my heart.
Okay. Violence.
I'm on the like risk it all kind of path with it because I think I'll have more fun.
Are you saying I'm going to risk it all to the point that I may not be able to pull this off in that situation, but I'm going to give it a fucking go?
That's precisely it. That's exactly where I'm going with it.
I'm like, look at that poker face. Look at that poker face.
It's not a poker face.
That is a poker face.
And it is,
I've seen your poker face.
Liam. So it is in relation somewhat to the Tommy Peanuts conversation about. Like, I don't get why you would try and win the Nationals. Like, you're trying to win the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, look, I can probably safely say that I will never win a world final in the DMC.
I think that's a very silly thing for you to say.
There are levels and there are levels.
Yeah.
But that's not what I'm in it for.
No, I think so.
I would put my hand there and say the same thing.
No way.
Yeah, I would.
Go on. I won't block you anymore, Dan.
Let me finish, right? So, but that's reflective of like the competition it's not really about winning.
Yeah.
Like it's about like I've come up with something totally mad.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna go
and
do it. And you know what? It might go totally tits up.
Yeah.
But it might also be really cool,
yeah.
really awesome, and something that people remember and talk about. Yeah, I love the fact that like anybody we ask, like like what's your favourite routine? So many of those routines have not been winning routines.
No, I don't think they are, no.
You know, and that to me is much more exciting than like. Look, don't get me wrong. I'd absolutely love to have some plaque I could put on the wall, and I'd love it would just be a wonderful accolade. But the thing that I'm really after is like I'd love people to just go, I know who you are because I remember that thing that you did. That mental thing. And it's like. That was cool, man. You've gone over to legacy.
I'm flat out. So flattering.
It wouldn't it?
Yeah,
it just if someone just came over and said, "Oh, I don't know." You know what? Like, I had it with one of there was a bomb strikes competition. There was an online competition. I came second. Actually, I didn't win. It's a perfect example of it. So many people contact me on social media about that video.
Really?
Yeah, the guitar solo one.
Oh no! Do you know what? So somebody contacted me about your thing to do with that.
And you see, not a winning routine.
No.
Right? Like it was totally random. I did some stuff that's different. Like nobody. There are some scratches in there that nobody does. Right? So whether you like them or not, that's your thing. But like that was perfect for me because I used to be a guitarist.
Yeah.
So I was so I know how to build a guitar solo out of other bits. But but like that's the thing that I get a kick out of someone going, man, what you do there was wicked.
Yeah.
Like the rest of it's awesome. Like don't get me wrong, I mean it'd be so wonderful. But I'm just not really chasing that. I'm chasing, can I go and do something totally crazy? And you know what? It's like if I mess it up, like I think actually most people would just be like, well at least he tried.
Yeah, exactly. Got it, on to you then.
I think I'm basically with obviously not giving anything away this year because I think everyone I think it's a very sensible thing for not just me and Dan, but I would probably go out and say that for everyone else who's battling this year, it's very healthy for us to be playing our cards close to our chest.
Well, it's standard.
Yeah.
Standard shit,
I'm the only thing I'll say about my routine at the moment is I'm basically trying to ride that fine line of musicality and technicality at the same time, which is such a fine line. It's so hard because there's been aspects where I've been practicing or I've trialed an idea and I go, this is way too over the top, I need to rein it in a bit. And then I go, oh, but this isn't, and then I go, if I make it a bit too simple, I go, well, this isn't worthy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a really hard thing to.
It's
to
so
get right.
difficult, man. It's
And
been.
Who's judging? Cutmaster Swift Prime Cuts.
So it's Cutmaster Swift, John First, DJ Babu of Dilated Peoples,
Yeah.
the Beat
Oh,
Junkies.
he's one of my favourites, Babu.
So-
Yeah, and then we've got oh my god, I can't believe I'm forgetting Blakey.
Yes,
Yeah.
Blakey's in it. of
Blakey
course,
is
yeah,
in it.
he's a
So
judge.
Cutmaster Swift, Blakey, John First, Richie Roughtone, and DJ Babu. 4 of them are my mates, and one of them's my idol. Nothing like a bit of peer pressure. I had no idea. I was like, oh, wicked, Richie's there. I haven't seen Richie in a long time. Oh, of course, John's like... John is such a good judge, can I just point out, because he is not biased.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he told didn't he say on the podcast once that he gave, like, Image from LA, he, like, came over to do World Supremacy, and he stayed at John's house, and he gave him, like, second place. And he was like, I'm sorry. And then he said, I think he said it. He's like, I'm sorry, man. I just thought his routine was better than yours. And he was like, no, dude, it's cool.
Yeah.
And that proves that he's not someone. Oh, just because he's your mate,
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
mean he's going to give you
No.
the champion, which is so fundamentally important for a judge to adhere to.
I think a lot of people
He's
in
a
their
philosopher
mind.
too. I think
What,
he's
John?
John First has got. He's got. There's a lot of thought and stuff. He's quite a deep character. I think the kind of reflectiveness of someone like that is good in a judging scenario because I think he will, he will judge really fairly. Like he will kind of calibrate his thinking against the competitor. And I mean also, unbelievably sick.
Yeah, completely.
It's literally one of my favourite.
I should point out, by the way, yeah, 4 of them are mates. I don't. I'm not saying that for the sake of like, they're going to be biased. They will. I don't want. I fully.
Oh, they won't be.
They won't be biased. And
Okay.
They're also
I
mates
expect-
with Michael. They're also mates with.
Of course, yeah.
With Tommy Peanuts.
I think the fact is that we're all friends. Everyone that's competing in this we're all mates, and that's the beauty of the competition.
That's the thing I'm looking forward to this year. Is like more than anything else. Is
Well,
the
you've
fact that I know
landed,
everyone,
haven't you? You've
right?
landed now.
I know
yeah.
everyone now, and that's so much nicer, so much like more comfortable place to be. Which is why I feel like now I can start taking some much bigger risks. And you're not too worried about it because I know everybody, and it's just going to feel like a kind of a clash of mates, which I just think is really
I'm
fun.
really looking forward to going up. Last
Yeah.
year I was still drinking. It was before my stroke, I think, or after. It was
It was
after
after,
my
it
stroke.
was
After
after.
the stroke, I was still drinking, so I went up there and like fucking had a couple of beers. Didn't really know. Knew you obviously. We didn't really know each other too well, did we? But know each other well enough to have a chat. Didn't quite know like I'm goals with that. I didn't know XL. Didn't know Tommy. Didn't know Static. Obviously, accidentally knew Random. And do you know what I mean? We were just in there. So like this year is going to be. It's going to be a different experience, isn't
It's
it?
going to be different.
There's one
experience.
thing I can definitely comment on. I've played in Beat Geek before. I did so DJ City did a showcase. It was like a kind of like a demo / industry event leading up to the 2019 Red Bull 3-star competition. And I got invited by DJ City to do a showcase in there, and I can with on good authority say that the sound will be good.
Yeah.
Like in comparison to last year,
They had some
Like-
struggles. Like I could see it from a tech person. The
It'll
issues
also
they
be better
had.
from a visibility perspective.
Oh, completely, yeah.
Because I've been to Beat Geek and but for the Turntablist Lounge, past few years, and I think that will work really nicely. Like because people can be around it and can kind of see what the hell's going on, which I think will be better than the setup last time. Yeah,
because the stage was so small
And so high.
And can I just say, like, it's like I was listening to Stack's episode not too long ago. The fact that he tripped over a dumbbell. I had no idea that there was a dumbbell on stage. I do have a faint memory of seeing Jordan go, oh, whoa.
It's probably
Like
something to do with fucking Hugh, wasn't
that's
it?
a myeloid.
That's a myeloid, yeah, that's
He was just leaving dumbbells around, yeah.
That's my leaving dumbbells. He had two strategies: leave dumbbells to like it's like watching Mario Kart. He's leaving dumbbells to trip people up, and his other thing was to mash the hell out of the tone arms.
Yeah.
I was looking at those. I remember his routine.
To be fair to him, he had to bring his own decks.
Yeah.
So they weren't.
I was going to say, like, DMC have got a contract with Technics like this thick.
Yeah.
And I think if they saw what Maya did to those decks, and it was their own. He did what? They would throw the fucking book at him.
Yeah, he'd be in Technic's jail, that's for sure, man.
It was definitely in my Technics jail, yeah. It was, do you know what I mean? As much as I like flailing hands, do you know what I mean? The only thing I could really see was Maya mashing up some tone arms.
Yeah.
And I know
I
exactly
bet
what
that
it
your
is.
heart sank when you
My
saw
heart
that.
sank. But the thing is that the Mark II tone arm is very well designed. It's hard work to take apart and put back together. But the Mark VII tone arms are like a work in plastic. And they are overcomplicated.
Did he ever talk to you guys about what... I can't imagine the condition of those turntables when he got home. Must have been in a lovely condition.
Oh, I mean, he hasn't touched them since.
No, he doesn't really. He likes his Rev 7s, doesn't he?
This is Rain 1 that he uses.
Rain 1, is it?
Yeah, he uses Rain 1 quite a lot.
Do
you know what I struggle with?
Go on.
Like so when I watch my performances back, the thing I struggle with is like, in my head, I'm doing a lot. And then when I look at it, I'm not doing anything.
And it's just like, you're doing what? You're doing what, mate? You think...
sort of namby-pambying around. And you're like, oh man, that looks so much cooler in my head.
Yeah.
There's been a couple of points where my partner's come round to, like, in the past, she'll come round and film my routine. And she goes, do you want to watch it back? And I go, yeah, okay, I'll look back on it. And I go, oh God, I need to put in more effort. Like, but the thing is, you are.
Yeah.
But because you practice so much and
so
becomes
much
second nature,
Yeah.
because it becomes so second nature to yourself, and you're so used to how it's supposed to sound, your body, your shoulders drop a tiny bit.
Yeah,
It kind of makes it look, but you could be forgiven for thinking like, oh, I look like I'm literally doing fuck all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but the thing is, right, the better you get at this, right, the more you're around people that are doing this, right,
Yeah.
the more desensitized you get to actually how much you're doing. Now, if you're like me and you know a load of sort of long mix or standard DJs, right, every time you think that, go and watch a Tomorrowland set, or go and watch Cole Cox play, or go and watch one of the big ones, right?
Oh, Cole Cox is quite fun to watch.
No, he's fun to watch,
Yeah.
but he's quite active. But they do nothing. You've DJ'd, but you've DJ'd on vinyl, and for 5 minutes, you're not doing anything. You're just beat matching. That's it. You're not doing anything, and people think they're doing a lot. Yeah, so you need to really put that into perspective, because actually, you boys are active as fuck. Up to your standard big stage DJ who's like, I've got 3 minutes left of this one.
Let's go and get some cake.
What am I going to do? What am I going to press?
I'm going to go throw some cake.
Oh man, when you put it in that perspective, I think, yeah, it's like, because of our kind of like performative nature, when we look at what we do versus like someone at like a standard kind of, I don't know, a Shambhala festival or any other, there is, and I don't want to take anything away from these artists. I'm sure that there's like
No, well, I mean, some of the genius in what those guys are doing is those tunes and those remixes are their own, right?
Well,
that's where the genius is, and it's in the overall picture.
Well,
that
the
they
genius,
create, right?
what those guys are really good at, right, is they're able to see a set of songs that they like, and they're able to go, that needs to be the first one, that needs to be the second one, that needs to be the third one, that needs to be the fourth one, fifth one. And they make this really unique tapestry that just drives crowds absolutely mad. So actually their technical ability is not that much, but what the ability is being able to move a large group of people and move them well. And at the end of them go, oh my God, that was an amazing set. People confuse that with, oh, they're a really good DJ. Well, around people like us, they're not. No, they're not doing anything.
I regard them as a good artist.
They're an artist.
Because a lot of the time when they're being booked for their music rather than their technicality.
Well, they're being booked to rock a crowd, basically. That is what they're there for.
Yeah,
And when
exactly.
people start, they're not beat matching, so, mate, if you're obsessed with beat matching, you don't know what you're talking about.
Tune selection is such an important thing.
Yeah.
You can completely remove mixing and
You don't
any
need
kind
to
of
do it
technical
anymore.
stuff.
You don't.
You can literally completely remove that. If you time a drop well with the right song,
Yeah.
and not very many DJs can do that.
No, they can't.
Right, then that's what, and that's their technical
Do you know what that
ability,
makes me think of you saying that? Do you know what that makes me think of? There was that video that did a lot of rounds on social media. It was at a wedding somewhere and someone was playing Turned Down for What by DJ Snake, and they just immediately just slam it into ABBA.
No, I know who did. I know the boys who did that.
Do you?
I know the boys who did that. Yeah, they're it wasn't the Dubtendo guys, was it? Who was it?
No. It was at some random wedding.
It's a wedding. It's one of the. Isn't it one of the?
It was that turn down,
influencers.
turn down for, and you think the drop's
Yeah.
gonna come and it just goes, ah.
They are. I don't know them. I kind of know them. So they're really.
There's that one guy in the audience that just went,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
That was the guy that sold the whole video.
It's amazing. Yeah, he's like, he looks so angry. That.
Yeah.
One of my favourite prank stories, not a story, but it's a video that it was posted on the DJ City Instagram. It's lost in the ether somewhere. I've tried looking for it. It was one of the funniest things. There was a guy who was playing a set to a really large crowd. I don't know where it was. It was some festival
Is it
somewhere.
the Windows sound by any chance?
I don't know. Tell me if it is based on the story. But basically, one of the guys who was like a tag along got hold of the guy who was DJing. He got hold of his USB, and there was a song in the USB that he knew he was going to play. Like, he plays it constantly. So he
Changed it. Yeah.
he changed the name of the track. So they basically deleted it, uploaded, I think, like the Venga Boys or something.
Yeah.
And changed the title of the file to the tune he wanted to play, and he started blending it in, but they made it in the same BPM, and then it slowly descends into it. He just went, what? He was just kind of like, what's going on? But then he cowered behind the desk, going, it's not me, it's not my I was like, that is such an...
That is the best trick ever. I've seen that one.
That's a textbook prank, that one.
Yeah.
The one I was thinking of that was just written into a tune. And the DJ knew what he was doing, but basically it does the Windows, you know, that kind of when something goes wrong. And then it's like, and then there's like nothing for a second, and everyone's like, or whatever it is, and then there's no sound, and then suddenly out of nowhere it just goes bang, like drops in, and it's like a prank on the audience.
So I actually did that. So I was doing this way before those guys were. Right. I first did something like that in 2006. Right, and a friend of mine was like, I really like that tune you've made, can I play it? And I was like, of course you can.
Oh, man. Oh, God.
Let me burn it for you.
No, did you really?
So on the intro, right, so at the point where the bass would be coming in, I just put a sine wave that went
Oh, that's so cruel.
and I was going to be there when he was doing
I bet
it.
he was effing and blinded, like, what the fuck is
I knew when he was going to play it. I knew it was happening. I was in the event. I was like,
There was a...
and suddenly, right, the big crowd, and suddenly he was mixing it in, and it's like,
I'm putting
for the whole part of the rest of the intro up until the tune drop, and he was up there going, oh my God, what's going on? And I was just sat there, I'll put that in there.
From now on, my MacBook is going to operate on two-factor authentication.
Yeah. 100%.
Oh, I've done that one already. I won't do that. You'll get something far more original.
You just reminded me of another one. I can't remember the name of the artist. My cousin Theo will definitely be able to tell me, but he went to a D&B rave in Bristol. This has got to be back in like 2003 or 4. And the guy on stage was using, he was doing live looping, live jungle and D&B looping, but using like microphones and live percussion on stage, but looping it in.
Oh my God.
And this is on a Windows PC in 2003. And my cousin was in the audience, so there's a live recording. He's got the live recording somewhere. It's the most, I just pissed myself laughing when I heard it, because you've got all of this chaos going on, all of this percussion, and this gnarly... It was almost like a breakcore night.
Yeah.
And I want to say it was at the Black Swan.
Okay.
And
it's quite likely.
Yeah, and it was like dun 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 dun. It was going absolutely mad, and then silence. But it was recording the audience at the same time, and you hear the guy DJ. He goes, fuck. It's crashed. Big up the Windows massive. Way. You hear the whole audience just piss themselves.
Me and my brother used to turn up at Lakota with 2 Windows towers that we'd linked together, basically.
Oh God.
And the anxiety turning up to these gigs and then going, please work.
Oh man.
Not much time to set up, linking 2 MIDI clock, linking two fucking. 2 computers, both with Cubase 5, 2002. It was bad, and they never failed. Never failed. The only time it ever failed was when I was playing at the Thekla, and it was the last surviving part of the 100k rig that my dad built in the 80s. Right, the last 2 tops in the Thekla, and I dumped a pint of beer in my mixer and it popped them. So I killed the last bit of the
I bet
the
your dad was
100k
happy
rig.
about that.
I think he got quite annoyed actually. Because he used to be part of this shop called Biggles Music in the 80s and 70s, right? And they built Bristol's first 100k rig in that shop, yeah. And I ruined the final tops in about 2002. Proud moment.
I didn't. I forgot to mention also at that Windows PC gig, that breakcore gig. There's a good I want to say a minute and a half, 2 minutes of him just fucking around trying to fix it.
Yeah.
Well, and he's like going, hang on a minute. Here we go. He put a record on, and then he turned the record.
Turning it off,
but he's like, he turned the. But then he turned the record. I think he turns the record off. He goes, "Oh, I've got it now," and he grabs the microphone and starts he spaffles some sort of sentence into the microphone, and then just loops it. And loops it, and then just brings another beat back over the top. And it's I think it was definitely a break.
I mean, your brain doesn't work in those situations.
No,
you having stuff go down in front of a crowd, and I'm quite technically minded and I'm quite good at problem solving, but when you've got 500 to 1,000 people in front of you and there is dead silence, and then the strobes are still going and you can see them all looking at you, and you're like, fuck, I've got kit that doesn't work and I can't think about what to do with it, and they're all staring at you, and suddenly you dissolve into retardation. And I'm not using that as an insult, I'm using it as the technical term of what your brain's like of that, you know what I mean?
I DJ'd the prom for the year that were 2 years beneath me, I think.
Yeah.
And,
the prom was the school?
Yeah, that school thing, yeah.
Are you young enough to have had a prom?
Yeah, we had proms, mate. And
did you have a prom? Sorry.
I went to an all-boys school.
How old are you?
I'm 38.
Would have been
How
a
old are
weird
you?
prom.
35.
The pretty uncomfortable prom. Just loads of men in a room. It's okay if you're gay, but for all the straight folks that would be uncomfortable.
They weren't selling many dresses in that city.
Yeah. I mean, it's 2025 now, we can do what we like.
How old are you, 35?
35? Back then it would have been a bit odd.
35?
Yeah, I'm 37 now.
37.
Yeah,
so you did the last... When did prom start?
I did this prom. I was about 18. They were like 16 or something like that. And I was, they were, it was a bit uncomfortable because they all kind of knew who I was and stuff, and it was really awkward. And I had I had 2 Technics and a little rack mount CDJ thing, and then I had and then I had some lighting on a thing. And basically, some of the girls started dancing near the thing, knocked on the pieces of lighting over it, smashed one of my tone arms up completely.
Did I end up fixing that?
No, I didn't know you. This was
No, but I swear I did a messed
ago.
up tone arm from an old deck you had. I swear I did.
No, that was because one of the guys at the Cloak and Dagger in their previous owner who just walked outside and just dropped it on the floor.
Whoa!
By accident. Bless him, he was devastated. But
I bet he was, I bet he was.
He was
devastated until you put it in the taxi and leave.
And I was like, listen, man, don't worry about it. He had a lot going on, that guy, anyways. But and I remember, and then I was like, oh god, now I've only got one operational deck and CDJs basically. So it was enough to do the gig. Back then it was I had lots of stuff on vinyl, not so much on CDJs because it was still quite early in the CDJ and they were awful to use, with little cogs on them and that.
Yeah, I remember those.
But it was so awkward because then you're there and you're like, oh man, there's all these people and they know me and they don't necessarily really know that
what's
none of this is working.
Because
so they're just going to think.
Happened.
So they're not going to appreciate that whatever comes out of the speakers for the next hour is me trying to fudge my way around this quite significant problem that you've created for me. And it was just an awful gig. I just remember coming away from that and being like, oh man. I mean, luckily the school had some insurance that they used to sort the deck out. So I ended up with a brand new one, which was quite cool.
Did you?
Yeah, the school.
That's really lucky.
And they were really nice about it. But yeah, it was... But you know what? That's why I couldn't really go into the private party thing.
No.
I like pushing the art form forward from the comfort of my own home.
I can understand
I do
that.
love a good gig. Don't get me wrong, and I'm doing a bit more gigging than I used to recently. But like, it's stuff like that where you're like bringing thousands and thousands of pounds worth of equipment, and like you're not necessarily playing what you want to play or how you want to play it, and then like you've got people knocking stuff over, and spilling drinks on it. Like, I'm all good, man.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use that as some inspiration. The stupid person that knocked over the light that broke your turntable. Now, Random was going to call in.
Oh, God.
And he was going to give us...
Of course he was. When is he ever not going to call in?
Well, unfortunately today, because he's currently stuck at Beat Herder. I've got a lovely picture here, look.
Okay.
I'm not sure I'm allowed to show people
Well,
it.
there's
But...
nothing really incriminating. It's just a muddy field.
Yeah, I know, but yeah. So Random can't do it. What he was going to do, he's going to call in and give us a subject to discuss.
Okay, cool.
So I'm going to do a Random impression.
A Bristolian doing a Cockney accent. This is something I've been waiting to hear.
Now, I've only just found out this hasn't happened, so I'm feeling under pressure, but I'm going to try and do it.
Okay.
And I may as well go in properly, aren't I?
Oh, God. Right, okay.
Ring, ring. Ring, ring. Ring, ring. I'm just doing more ring, ring so I can try and centre myself. Ring, ring. What do you fucking idiots want? Hey, Random, how you doing? What's going on? Oh, fuck off.
I don't know if I can cope with this.
I feel like I'm witnessing a breakdown.
Why not just tell us the topic?
Hey, I'm brave for doing this, Liam. I'm very brave for doing this.
You're very brave.
You're very
darling.
brave.
I'm very...
but there's no need for you to carry on anymore.
Oh,
It's
okay.
totally fine. What was it? What was the question going to be?
Ollie, I wanted to see what you boys thought about. Do stupid people know they're stupid? Oh, he's hung up.
That was incredible.
That was quite good.
Stupid, but well, that's on topic of the podcast, isn't it?
Well, Dan was just talking about stupid people. I think it's a very interesting subject.
Oh right, okay. In that context,
Do
I thought,
stupid-
I thought you meant it.
Do stupid people know? I don't think they do. No.
I don't think they do.
I think that's the wonderful thing about being stupid.
Yeah.
I would love to be a complete dunce. In
Which,
many
but
ways.
no, but
Very
no.
happy.
This is when it gets really bad, right? If stupid people don't know they're stupid, right, then essentially I could be a stupid person that doesn't know it, and you don't go around telling people you're stupid.
Well, you rise to the level of your own incompetence. That's a.
Go
that's
on.
a. That's a.
Come on, put me at ease, Dan.
That's a genuine like organisational psychology thing. I can't. It's either called the Peterson principle or the Parkinson principle. I can't remember which. One of them's about you use up as much time as possible, and the other one is this thing of you rise to the level of your own incompetence.
Yeah.
You basically you get as, I mean, it means something slightly different in the business world, but you get as far as you and then you there's no perception beyond that, you know. So like you don't. So the thing that really gets me is the amount of people that like are seemingly quite competent, and I bet loads of people think it's about me, but seemingly quite competent, but actually they're really not.
That kind of makes me think of that. I was watching Greg Davis's stand up with my partner, and there's a part in his. I think it's called. It's a stand up called called Magnificent Beast.
Yeah.
And
I've watched that.
Oh mate, there's a bit. If you've seen it, you know what I'm going to talk about. There's
Maybe
a part,
not.
There's a
I've
part in
been
it where
rewatching
there was a part in it where he was talking about a friend of his who was a CEO in a really really big business, and he said he'll never forget something that he said that he said to Greg that will not convince him in any other way that he is thick as pig shit. And it was he would think every time a fly was buzzing around the room, he used to think they were shouting as he was like ah! Land completely quiet. I've had a breather, but ah! You know, just. He thinks flies are shouting as they're going round the room. And I just they used to think they were shouting. Every time a fly would fly around the room,
They were shouting because they were scared. They were shouting because they were scared of flying.
You watch it. It was like just and it goes back to what you were saying about how I don't know how you've landed this position at this job. at this business, like
Yeah.
with how you are.
This is it. This is some of these things. Like I think there's a lot of it that goes on. In organisations, it's actually because what happens is organisations tend to be run by narcissists and psychopaths, and they tend to promote people well beyond
Who aren't a threat.
they're not a threat, and who satisfy their narcissistic, sociopathic, psychopathic tendencies in whatever way. So you end up with people very senior in businesses who are utterly clueless.
Yeah.
But they're so protected because of the power dynamic that sits beneath them. But I do think in real life you've got just like I think there's a real a real correlation. I don't have any data for this, but I think the smartest people are often the most unhappy.
Yeah.
I think they
like that.
They
I
have
can
the
live with that,
ability.
yeah.
They have the ability to see too much and see too many of the problems and spot too many of the patterns. They end up with anxiety disorders. They end up with stuff like that. I think there's a really strong connection between like high IQ and those kind of challenges. And I think if your world can be as reductionist as possible, you're probably going to be happier. If things are in simple terms, like most, especially today, most people just crave simplicity because life is so complex. If you had simplicity by design, you would therefore probably be happier, right? But do they know that they're stupid? I mean, I think humans don't know how stupid we really are.
Well, you have to define. You have to define what you mean stupid
know,
at the moment.
There's so much we think we know how everything works, right? And we've done some clever things: build houses, build space rockets, do all this stuff. But like we don't really know how it works. I think for however many years, I think it was only recently we figured out how helicopters fly.
There have been moments in the past where I've looked at an object and gone, someone's had to trial and error that.
Yeah.
Like
well, helicopters is one of those.
Well, even a tripod.
They didn't really understand why it worked.
Was lifting, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't understand how it would lift in the way that they were doing. Same with bees. That I don't know whether it's a wives' tale or not, but like there was a thing about bees, bumblebees in particular, their body weight compared to the force that their wings can generate doesn't make physical sense that they can fly.
Oh, the bumblebees, yeah.
And there was a thing about like why can they fly, and the philosopher's view was because nobody told them they couldn't. But
that's sweet. That's something quite sweet.
Pretty, I quite like that. Yeah.
But the point is like human. Oh yeah, we're so clever, but actually we're pretty fucking stupid.
Yeah, so then you're defining what do you call stupid, which is the most interesting thing about the way Brandon's brain works. It's the most ridiculous question ever, but when you think about it,
I don't think there's any way of defining it except that it comes in all shapes and sizes. Really.
Exactly, and so you could be
maybe
really.
We should reframe it as: do people who are requesting from DJs realise they're annoying?
I think I have, as a DJ, I have the opposite opinion of what DJs think about this subject. That DJ is being paid to play music. And as much as you don't like to think you're inexpensive or cheap, what's it called? What those machines you pay? Jukebox.
Yeah.
Essentially, you're a jukebox. Essentially, you are a jukebox, and people want to hear music, and really,
I think it depends on the environment you're in.
So Craze had a situation with that.
On
did you see that?
That was funny.
Yeah, I did.
But he played it.
But the thing is, he's allowed to say, "Do you know who I am?"
Is he though?
Of course he is.
He's allowed to say it to us.
Well, he's allowed to say it in public because...
No, I think it's hilarious just to say it.
I think he's the only person I can think of in our kind of...
Random. That was random's...
Random, yeah, random. Random can use that, yeah.
Random can use that. Of course he can. I mean, you're not going to challenge him on it, are you?
No, of course not. No. Don't challenge Random, no.
Mate, sorry, mate, you can't say, oh, I'm fucking random, I can fucking say whatever I want.
I'm fucking amazing. That was one of the best things ever.
Bringing it back into turntablism a tiny bit, the other thing I was going to bring up was it's kind of like, I'm not going to name any DJs, but I have seen a few DJs do this. Go on. Is the licking of the hands.
It does,
It might be one of those things that, because like public speakers, one of the like anxiety management tactics
is to soothe.
Is to do you basically I think it's called anchoring, and basically you do something that's largely like it's either innocuous or it's invisible. I think Tony Blair used to do something like this behind the what's that thing called that you stand behind?
I know.
Oh, come on! I love that word.
Yeah,
I love it.
I can't remember what it's called, but it might have been one of those things.
The microphone stand essentially.
It might just be
We're not calling it that. It's
it
got a
might
better
be a thing
name.
to help manage nerves and stuff. Because it's quite common for people to have like some sort of ritualistic behaviour that they do when they do stuff. No, although I do quite like rubbing my hands together before I do something.
That's very common in turntablism.
Yeah, I do that as well.
Because it signals to the audience I'm about to do something. But it's also practical because it's creating friction on my hands. It just helps me hold the record.
So people do it before they're about to eat. They're like,
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think it's more than just.
I mean, I do it just before I hit
Do you know
the
who's
sync
the
button.
Oh, it's going to get fruity now.
Oh, let's put it in time.
Quantised next. But no.
You know, I was just about to say.
Things are going to get tight.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, there's nothing better than digitally in time.
Oh, dude.
No, the finger licking. I want to know this.
Sorry, everyone.
Don't you apologise on our behalf. No, but licking the finger, because, like, I obviously
I know why people do it.
Why?
I know why they do it.
I can't work it
It's
out.
to help with gripping the record when you're beat juggling. But
when you're sweaty, which you are on stage, you're making the situation worse.
Yeah, but I've not done this, but the argument is literally I've just heard that like from someone's spittle.
Go on now.
The residue of the spit actually creates grip, and the other thing
So you're replacing this.
Yeah, it's just to go on the tips of your fingers
Okay.
for when you're juggling. But then I've said, why don't probably a bit more of a hygienic option, why don't you use those things that like, you know when you ever go down to the post office and someone's like
letter.
It's like a pad. It's like a wet pad that is on the edge, and they dab their fingers on it so they can
turn pages. Yeah.
It's the same thing.
So there's a guy who did the juggle of Can't Touch This. I can't remember his name.
Oh, with the glove.
With the glove.
Yeah.
I don't know how he did that, because unless it's of a certain material that allows you to just grip without.
What I mean, those sort of surgical gloves are quite grippy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was wearing surgical gloves. Oh yeah, you're
blue
fine.
surgical gloves. Yeah,
you're fine.
You get this effect. There's a guy, what's his name? Scotty. He does like bass lessons, and he always wears a glove.
Scotty. So that's to do with friction.
Yeah, is it? Yeah.
Do you know what I do? Like my hack, and like anyone who's listening can take this.
I fiddle with my nipples.
Yeah.
Dan's this year routine. He's not going to be doing this. He's going.
Yeah, I've just got tassels.
Right.
Juggling, you spin me right around.
I've sweated it. What is it? I've sweated enough.
Yeah, helicoptering up, mate. I've taken a leaf out of what they call the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Dropping chopper.
Yeah, I'm just cock in sock era. This is my cock in sock era that we're about to start now.
God.
Take Mr. Big Mouth to a whole new meaning, wouldn't it?
Well, I'd certainly alienate a few people in the community, I think.
You wouldn't alienate me, Dan. Don't you?
My hack is hand moisturiser.
Ah.
I always take a tub. Like if I know I'm going to be doing a juggling or I'm going to a competition, I do make a conscious note of like.
Hand moisturiser.
Don't be surprised if you find that there's a hand moisturiser shortage just as we lead up to the DMC.
Yeah, every corner shop on the way would just be there with no.
I mean, not a catastrophic amount. I mean,
I've bought every single bit of hand moisturiser. Just to
that's going to ruin the competition.
Sabotage.
I was going to absolutely fuck everyone up for the competition. Like, where the fuck's my hand moisturiser? No, honestly, it works. It honestly works. I literally on the tips of the fingers, and I just do that. I kind of just with my thumb, I rub it in, and then I just go for a juggle, and it works.
I got a really bad brain video of you applying this to your fingers.
Before.
No, it was much better than my brain. there was like a corner lamp there.
Right.
Your turntables were there,
Right, okay.
and you were there like cross-legged like that, just with a pile of it on the same table as a thing, and you were just like,
What a tower of finger.
Well, no, it's like Q,
Oh.
Q, you know, like a Q stick.
no,
For
I
snooker
had
players. It's like, yep, just get my scratching
Cool, like a
hand.
ball kick, a
got
ball
a bit
cue
of
with
chalk.
moisture.
just sat there like evilly going, what?
It's got blue chalk.
What was it? Like, hey, they won't know why I hit them next. Wait, do they fucking see this?
The secret sauce.
Like, they'll be like, Cooper, what the fuck are you doing? It's like, it's alright, random, watch this, it'll be fine.
This unhygienic licking you keep doing.
That's alright, mate, you fucking carry on, do whatever the fuck you
I quite like your points. Let's have another one, Liam.
The other one, what was the other one we're going to pick from this?
We got this is how these have got to rock now. I really like this.
So this is a little bit of a more serious
Let's
one.
see how long we can keep it serious, Dan. would you?
Okay. Well,
I'll be timing you.
it's apt for the fact that we're pretty much we're in DMC season now.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah,
Good.
we are.
And this is something. It's kind of a sentence that I nicked from Vect. I remember like ages ago listening to John First and Vect. Well, John First was interviewing Vect, and this was back in 2015. This is a really old interview. And one of the things that Vect said in the kind of like preparation for going into a DMC competition was he constantly feels limited to having to push the limits, which I think is a really interesting thing to bring up because I kind of feel the same way because there's that weird push-pull of like, well, I don't feel like I'm pushing the limits because I am using a technique that's been used over and over and over again, but then again, I guess it's all down to your, interpretation
I think it's the whole
of it.
package as well,
Yeah.
though, isn't it? You know, I mean, like, it's a kind of. I totally hear you. I mean, like, you know, there are very. You do see it sometimes, but lots of it's. You know, you're rehashing something that's been done before now because we are at a point where I suppose we've met quite a lot of those creative limits, but I still think like there's still scope. Like I mean, you know, K-Swiss last year was doing juggles using the FX pads.
That mate, I can't
paddles.
believe I didn't think of
Who
that.
did
Yeah.
that? Who's that?
K-Swiss.
So he
Yeah.
basically the pedals on the S11
He was
he
using
made
brake
there's an
stops.
effect where it called kill. And what it does is as soon as you press the pad,
Cuts the sound out.
cuts the sound out. So he was juggling with the pedals.
The paddles.
No, I don't like that.
Yeah. Well, you won't.
You
like
won't,
that,
you
but-
won't like it.
I don't like
but
that.
It was one hand. I think it was like, wasn't it the thumb? He was doing like a shaka bra pretty
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
Shaka bra.
Yeah, doing like thumb on one pedal and the pinky on the other, but moving hand over to the other one whilst juggling.
Oh, so he was
Yeah.
pretending it was just like that.
He was just using it as
He was
like
using
an up
his
and
hand.
down.
One hand would stay over the pedals, and the other hand was.
He's
back
Australian, isn't he?
He's
New
New
Zealand.
Zealand.
New Zealand, and they do that for like
That's
like
a
cows,
right-
isn't it?
That's generally a shaka bra is like
Cowabunga, but they also. Do you remember Crocodile Dundee? And he put the balls. He go.
I'm gonna say this right now. I've never seen one.
You need to watch
I
it.
haven't watched one Crocodile Dundee movie.
We'll watch one. And he does this, and he puts balls to sleep like that. But I think Australians there like that. That is an Aborigine sign for a ball. I think.
Oh right.
I think so.
I know that basically
I'm
that's
gonna be wrong
used.
about
I know that a shaka
Someone will
bra
fact
is
check
used
us
by used by
if we read the
surfers.
comments.
I know that a shaka bra is used by surfers in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Like that is.
Why do they make I'm on the phone signs to people when they're surfing?
Just good.
I think it was before the phone.
I don't know.
Could you call me, ma'am?
Yeah.
Tell them Mrs. I'm still out.
Fucking hell.
I'm still.
I didn't know Hawaiians sounded like a Kiwi.
I don't know. They sound how I want them.
I'm not sure what that was. I mean, was
Yeah.
that Kiwi? I don't know.
I don't know. Is it kind of?
Well, I saw something online that said if you want to sound Kiwi, just move the vowel forward.
By the
So-
way, that was 76 seconds of sensible before we.
Did we get it there? Yeah, only when you were speaking.
No. I feel like I'm trying to rein you.
the
two
question
in.
was 48 seconds of that. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was like someone pointed out. Yeah, if you want to sound like a Kiwi, just move the vowel forward, so pet becomes pit.
Beat.
Yeah.
Like, and that's like, yeah, literally just move every vowel forward, and it pretty much is the same.
Has anyone seen this? Is a real sidestep, but has anyone seen that there's like an advert for something called Dickens cider?
Put your dick, yeah.
But
yeah,
like they've got
Oh,
loads of
God.
interviews with people, and it's like, oh yeah, I get out of bed in the morning and get a Dickens cider. It's so nice. And you're like. It's like, oh, my girlfriend can't, she loves a Dickens cider.
Oh no!
Because it's Dickens cider.
No,
Yeah.
mate, that's gotta be fake.
Oh, it's a comedy.
It is
Yeah.
fake.
Oh, right. Okay. Fine. You sold that to me.
Yeah.
So let's go back. Should we get a little bit of seriousness?
Yeah.
What you said was really interesting, and I took it like this. I took it that you were trying to push the boundaries so much. You're scared to do simple stuff, or you're scared to look at simple things.
No, I think it's like you're conscious that well, for me anyway, this is just my take. I'm very conscious that we're now at a point in turntablism where I don't want to say nothing else new is going to come out of this.
But you've got to work pretty fucking hard to find it.
Yeah, that's it.
We're
And
mining the last few Bitcoin right now. Yeah. I hear you.
yeah, so
It's a lot of energy.
and I've been proven wrong. Like there's been elements like K-Swizz's use of the paddles is a prime example of that.
No, it's not a prime example of that. It's not.
You don't
It's
think
really
so?
not. No, it's
Why
really not. Because he's just doing the same thing, but with a different element on the mix.
I get both sides of that.
It's just interesting. Obviously, he's on them that much. He's bored of using the crossfaders. I tell you what, I'm just going to do a phone signing.
Yeah.
I mean,
The thing is, though, it's always like this until someone comes up with some kind of crazy style and
Mentalness,
changes
yeah,
the
yeah,
game.
yeah.
You know, someone brings in a whole another angle to it or whatever. It might be that the next step isn't necessarily in the technicality of it. It's in the like Fly did. It's in the cinematic kind of or orchestral like structure of it. You know, or whatever it is. But there will be something new that captivates people's attention. But yeah, I feel like if I think that the key to that doesn't necessarily sit in technique. I think there is very little that you can really squeeze out of technique now.
I think the only thing that's really now left is literally style.
Yeah.
And I think that's not a negative at all by any stretch. It's what separates you from your competition.
Totally, it's the differentiation.
Yeah, and I think I'll say is that's a big positive.
So it's interesting because turntablism goes through phases, and there was a phase where the tap pausing technique was really popular. That the slowdowns, everybody had a section like that, and that could get really complicated because in essence you are turning the record into a sampler because you have time to really manipulate and use different parts, and you're slowing it down, and it's not really that people aren't really doing it. I mean, have you got a tap pause part in your routine?
So my take with tap pausing is I find it's an important technique to learn, but I also find it quite elemental.
Go on.
I find it as quite a fundamental technique to learn, but I wouldn't use it in a competition sense.
Why?
Because it's like an entry level technique to me anyway. Because it's something I learned within like weeks of me starting turntablism.
But you can take it to some quite serious
I'm not saying
levels.
you're not allowed to use it.
Yeah.
I'll say that you're not allowed. I'm not going to say you're not allowed to use it. I'd say you can incorporate it, but don't let it be the dominant technique.
Yeah.
Because that was done in like the 90s. It was that bum bum ba-dun, bum bum ba-dun. Like I think a good use of that technique would be at the end of a juggle, like bum bum bum, like just do it quickly.
Yeah.
Like show offy bit.
Body.
Yeah, exactly. Make it like a show offy bit at the end. Don't let it be the dominant technique. Let it be as something to show.
But I think
your
that
flair.
variety of things where it's like the start of something, or you're baby scratching the equivalent. So instead of going dun dun dun, you're going dun dun dun.
Yeah.
But like then if that then moves you into stuff that enables you to kind of loop and swap around, then I think that that's cool. But I hear you. I think but
it's good to learn it.
There's innovation in all of these things, though. I mean, like you can use that to do something really quite crazy and special.
I get mesmerised by it, and I've said this before, and I think I said that in the last podcast we do. When I can see something happening, right, it's like I can see that happening. And when somebody's tap pausing and they go do ga do half beating, you can see it happening, and I get mesmerised, especially when Quest is doing it. Like I love
that
Quest.
gangstar thing that he
Yeah,
does is
yeah.
just so...
Do you know what I mean? You can see the dance is happening. So I kind of feel like with all this S11ism in, and by the way, I have got a DVS set up at home, and I have got touchpad.
I've noticed,
God,
man. Yeah, fair play to you.
I've done it. I've given up.
Don't, mate. You make it sound like you've sold your soul. You haven't sold your soul.
I've saved a lot of fucking money. That's what I've
Well,
done.
yeah, there's that argument.
But
you sold yourself.
I'll say,
sold yourself.
but here's
You're
one
now part of the
thing.
dark side, mate. Welcome. Thank
There's
God
one
you're
thing-
in.
I was looking at getting an S9 last night.
I think before.
I was.
Were you really?
I was actually
getting this-
last
Mate,
night.
if
I
you
was,
bought an S11, I'd be like.
no, S9, yeah.
I think like even. Do you know what? I think you'd be really happy with is an S7. An S7.
No, because the S7 doesn't have 8 touchpads on it.
It does.
Yeah, it
does.
does.
It does.
Yeah,
It's
just,
basically an S11 without a screen.
yeah, the S7's the latest one. The S9's the older one.
Yeah.
What's the one without the screen?
The S7.
That's not red. That's the S5.
Oh, that's
the
the
red
S5.
one.
That's
Oh
right.
right, so I was looking at S7s last night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just to briefly jump back to the tap pause thing, I don't want anyone thinking like I'm some sort
Oh,
of
they
like,
definitely don't. from what you
policing
say.
some
Yeah.
sort of like, oh, don't learn tap pause. Definitely learn tap pausing. I think it's a fundamental, a very important technique to learn because it will help you explore different rhythmical patterns in beat juggling. But also, it's important to learn it. But also, I think it's more in this day and age of battling. I feel like it's a technique that's good for a bit of quick show off and
But
flair,
not the main
but
feature.
don't make it the dominant. Nah, exactly. Don't make it the dominant.
So
thing.
going on your subject of needing to learn it. So I've recently got to the stage where I can start doing those really quick stabs.
I've been watching it
and the
now,
really
yeah.
quick kicks and like that. And then at full speed, I'm able to pick different parts of the record and utilise that and go whoop whoop, move forward to that bit, come back, move that bit, and that came from tap pausing because it slows everything down so much, ingrained in your brain. You kind of I know from a BPM now where the snare's going to be. I know where the next kick's going to be. I know where it's going to level out. And from tap pausing, you actually start to your brain. You can do it slow enough for it to go in your brain. Then when you start getting fast with it, you can naturally just go whoop whoop. That needs to be there. Whoop whoop. I need to be here. I need to be there. So I think tap pausing is probably one of the most useful things I've learned when it comes to juggling.
I went to this retreat the other day.
Who'd you go with?
JFB was
Yeah,
there.
you got invited to JFB's retreat.
And,
You go to JFP's retreat?
no, I didn't go to JFB's
Really?
retreat. I went to Mark's retreat, and JFB was playing a little set there.
Oh,
and
dope.
he for warm up, he just has a record, and he just baby scratches
All the way through it, yeah.
all the way through.
I do that.
on each beat,
Oh,
on
what,
each hand,
ba-bum,
and then
ba-bum,
swapping hands.
Yeah, yeah.
ba-bum,
So for that,
But you
and
put
it's
it
very,
down.
that's exactly it. Yeah,
On beat all the way
Boom.
through.
Yeah, on all the eighth notes basically, and
Sorry, just to jump. What retreat was this?
Somebody's jealous.
Oh yeah, I was like,
do you know Mark? I think it's MK432 Hertz. Do you know him? Yeah, Mark. He, really nice dude. He owns a retreat at Eternal Lake. It's called.
sick.
Yeah, I went there. The guys who run Global Funk Fan were there.
No, I don't know.
Like a few other guys. It was just like a small little thing.
That's sick
few
that
guys
Jean was
from
there though, man.
Super Scratch Sunday. And Jean-Marc was there, and
Sick.
He did like a little thing. He's amazing.
Mm.
But yeah, we had a little bit of a scratch jam there and stuff, and
Dope.
it was cool. But yeah, that was what when I got there, he was just doing that over and over again. And I think because it's like it just gets you into the timing of it, doesn't it? You know.
See, I strobe when I feel like I'm just like I can't get any further in my brain, or I'm like trying to push and I'm stressed. I'll just get a fast beat and just strobe the whole record and go between the strobe off the snare and the strobe off the boof boof gat gat boof and I'll just do it for a whole
Swinging
record
straight,
and just sit there.
I
and
think
just,
that's good. I think that's a really good practice to do because it
I love it.
It trains what you'll find. I think afterwards, it no longer becomes a case of paying attention to the record. It becomes a case of muscle memory.
I start thinking about other things.
just like rhythm, like
Yeah.
just general.
and
rhythm.
you will
it's so
subconscious-
satisfying.
You will. I promise this will happen to you. What will happen
What
is you will,
happened to me?
Yeah, you'll get a sense of self, like kind of like internal timing.
Yeah.
You'll listen to the record you're playing, and then you'll like subconsciously determine what tempo to baby it into to lead into the stroke.
So since getting my DVS set up, I've been going back and finding like all the original samples from like house records and hip hop. I've just been finding all these samples, just trying to learn new music, find new music, and then obviously explore what else comes from that. But a Cola Bottle Baby that Daft Punk turned into Harder, Faster, Stronger. Do 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 cola. Cola bottle baby, that one there, and I was just messing around with that, and just really like, because I find now with music, when I juggle it, I hear loads of shit that I never knew was there, and I kind of identify with it more, and I connect with it because I'm kind of manipulating it even more so than putting it in a sampler and taking it apart, and then I just jumped into a strobe. Just like, and I've got to the point now with that, it's just, I can just go, I could just strobe from that and just whoosh,
strobe on
whoosh,
demand.
Just strobing on demand,
That's good,
yeah,
nice.
It's like, so, the tap pause is obviously to do with that, because from tap pausing, you're learning where the snares and the kicks and the hats are.
I learned tap pausing when I was literally like, when I first started getting into juggling. Obviously, the first thing I learned from juggling was the straight back and forth.
Yeah.
And then when you're comfortable with that, then you start to branch out from that and do babies at the beginning. And then you'll do things like two babies in one that you'll like juggle through them. There's like there's just an endless amount of things you can do. You can start incorporating the effects pedals into it as well. Like there's even there's just like endless things that you can apply.
Do you know what's really interesting? I've just thought about this talking to you. You did that Dochi
juggle. What are the Dochi juggle?
What's up, Dochi? 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 Hey, girl. It's been a little minute since you and I have chat. Has it really, Lee? Probably since, like, your last EP.
Dochi juggle, and we posted it, and it did really well on the page. It was one of the last things that did really well on our Facebook page, isn't it? It was one, honestly, because I got like a hideously banned, and I'm attached to all the Facebook things.
Why did you get banned?
Because somebody messaged me a thing offering me drugs, and obviously my journey with drugs, I've stopped taking them. I've been in this whole recovery journey, and I was like, right, I screenshotted it and posted it, and he was like, I think this is your vibe, mate, and I got offended because it was like, how dare you think this is my vibe? Right? It was like, I think it's your vibe. Posted all these drugs, so
this guy was trying to trigger you.
No. He was trying to sell me drugs, basically. So I took a screenshot of it with his name and posted it on Facebook. Like, this guy's trying to like either con you or sell you drugs. I'm going to light him up. So how dare you it's really bad, because if people are trying to get away from drugs, or people are trying to make their lives better, and then the only place that's kind of where you are protected is like Facebook and shit like that. Do you know what I mean? And then you've got these people now just friend requesting people and trying to sell them drugs. I was like, right, I'm going to light this guy up. I'm going to block him and light him up, prick.
Okay.
Took a screenshot of it and put, this guy thinks it's my vibe, blah, blah, blah. Put it up, and then got a ban for drug dealing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
The irony.
And banned for drug. And I very clearly put in it, this isn't my vibe. There's people out here trying to scam you. Don't block these people. Don't let this be a thing on Facebook. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they went, you're drug dealing, Mr. Gould. Ban. Page, all your pages have been, we're not recommending any of your pages you're associated with. Your account's going to be suspended.
I had no idea that happened.
Yeah, basically, so yours video was the last video that we posted before that happened to me on Facebook. So
some people have just got too much fucking time, man.
Well, no, it's AI bots.
Really?
It's the bots. It's the Facebook AI bots. And because I pay for Meta, because I run my business from Meta, right? I pay for it. So I've got a help bot. I've got a help thing. And I was like, look, you've restricted my account because I posted a screenshot warning people of this. They went, yeah, but you were drug dealing. I was like, I wasn't drug dealing. Look at the comment. This is that. They went, no, but it goes against our community standards. And it was like, yeah, I know.
surely then you should go for the person that this comes from then.
Or you should go, or the AI should look at what the comment says and go, okay, maybe it is questionable. You pay a subscription for our thing and you're clearly trusted because we've been recommending the content you put out. I'm very safe. I don't do many risky things on there. But yeah, banned. Basically, can't like that. And now like I fight to get like 1,000 views. I was getting like 14, 20, do you know what I mean? Like 200, yeah,
It's crazy.
Anyway.
What you really need to do is beat Bonnie Blue's record.
Well, no.
Sleeping with 1,000 men.
Well, yeah, I mean, and then you go down and watch things like that. Do you know what I mean? Like really seeing. I mean, more power to her, man. She's found a way to make loads of money. But how the fuck did we get to this?
I don't know, mate.
Because we were talking about beat juggling.
Beat juggling. What was I saying?
We were talking about the Dochi beat juggle that I did.
So, I watched that. I posted that video and I was like, I really love that beat juggle you did. And I was like, I really want to try that beat juggle. It's when I asked you what beat it was. Do you remember?
Yeah. I remember you messaging people.
I messaged people and I messaged you and you got back.
You messaged people before asking me, which I found hilarious. You're like, why didn't you just come to me?
Yeah, but I don't want to bug you with my weirdness.
Why?
I don't know.
Such a tune, though.
Such a tune.
It is a banger.
Anyway, so
me and my partner are going to see her live at Falls
Is it?
Festival this
Same
year.
here.
Are you going? Oh,
There's a crowd of us.
double
Yeah.
date, double date. There you go. You'll be out for dinner.
Well,
But anyway,
I'll make sure I drop you a message.
Mate,
We'll meet up, man.
definitely.
yeah. So the first thing I did when I got my DVS was I really want to juggle, don't you?
Dude, she is sick.
Yeah,
She's-
she
I
is
mean,
really sick, but I fucking hated juggling it.
Why?
I just hated it.
Dude, it's 90. It's
I
like
did-
92,
I know.
93,
I
95
did
BPM.
what you did on it.
So that beat is wicked for slow downs.
I hated it.
Yeah.
You should do slow
I
downs
hated
on that
juggling.
beat,
I did everything.
Why-
I was like, I was so excited about doing it.
Yeah.
I did it and I hated it.
What was
And
it?
I did your juggle and I loved watching your juggle.
What was it? The speed, the sound of it, like
It
what?
just didn't. Do you know when something just doesn't work?
Mate, you've been juggling too much disco.
I love
That's what
juggling
your
disco.
problem is,
Yeah.
mate.
But it's
too,
just,
too much
Disco.
120 BPM.
Yeah, that's it.
but it's just. But the point I'm trying to make is, it's really funny, especially when you're building routines, that somebody can use something that you really hate and make it look so good, and you can look at it and go, "That's really good," and you do it yourself, and you're like, "I'm not feeling that." Really, an interesting concept.
I've suddenly thought of another thing. Favourite juggle.
Favorite juggle. What you mean? Favorite juggle to do, or favorite juggle to watch, or favorite juggle routine you've seen somebody do?
There's a juggle I've attempted to do, which I will never do publicly,
Yeah.
and that I still cannot get my head around it. I've got the tune. I attempted my best interpretation of it to a certain level, but it just doesn't sound the same. And that's Rob Swift's beat juggle of the Nas tune, and it's in the Scratch documentary.
Yeah.
Basically makes the tune go through two different time signatures and time BPMs,
Okay.
and it just fucks with my head every time. It goes from the BPM of it is like about a 95 BPM, and then it goes bum 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 bum, and then
Okay.
and he's just changed it from like 95 to like almost like a house tempo.
Yeah.
From half timing it and then doubling it.
Okay.
But he's only using about, I want to say, 3/4 of the record. And I've watched it over and over and over again, and I go, I get what you're doing, but I've tried my best to in my own. I will obviously like never publicly play it out,
Yeah.
because there's a I don't want to.
You don't want to plagiarise.
No, exactly.
I mean, in your position
I'm happy to perform it in front of friends because it opens a topic for discussion on, oh, maybe he did it like this or maybe he did it like that. But yeah, like, obviously I'll never perform it live or do it anywhere else publicly. But it's just, it's one of those juggles that still now I go, oh, fuck, man, I still don't know where you land the record at that particular point.
So my favourite is, it was one we filmed at the Calf, and it was Quest doing the do. Do you know what tune that is?
That was a Gangstar tune.
A Gangstar tune, and basically he juggles it. It's like the, you know, like the squeaky things that used to be done on Moogs. You know, like Dope Man.
What Gangstar tune was it?
Can you
Can't
remember?
He was, because the only reason I think it was a Gangstar tune was because I remember him being like looking through the tracks on my laptop and being like, oh, I can probably work with this one, kind of thing. And then he was finding like, because the thing that Quest does,
you know, it's badass when he can literally just look at the tune.
Yeah,
that one.
He's always quite far into the record.
Yeah,
you'll notice, like, watch some of his recent videos. He's always at least a bar in.
Yeah.
Whereas lots of people start on the very beginning.
Yeah.
He doesn't. He always starts a bar in, because then you've got positions to the left as well as positions to the right that you can play with.
Okay.
You can move back and forward in the song. So, I just remember him going to like some obscure part of this track and just getting these like 3 or 4 sounds.
But it was like the gangster whine, and he made the gangster whine like he was juggling a gangster whine.
Do you mean Gangstar? Or
No. So you know the gangster.
Oh, hang on, that's Funky Worm.
Is it Funky Worm?
Funky Worm by the honey. No, is it the Honey Drippers?
Honey Drippers, yeah, it might well be.
Hey, there's a funky worm. He gonna come out. He gonna sound like this. It's like
that one.
It was used, but yeah, it's been used in G. It was like the kind of like the poster boy track for like all G funk and like from like Ice Cube and NWA.
Yeah, so that noise, and he's juggling that, but he does it so wonky, and he's using some like touch pause thing. And
I can imagine tap pausing with that tune, especially where it goes.
Yeah, like so wonky.
It will sound.
And then to get to the next place, he's just like what? He just does like a double rewind to pull it back, but he makes the rewind part of it, and the fader's over that way.
Like a tear.
No.
It's in like the rewind is audible.
So like
because of the way that sound is, that sounds cool, right?
It sounds cool. So basically, so he's going through it like that, and then he lets that one, and while he's pulling that one back to get to the right place, that record deck's live, and he, instead of doing blah, 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 he goes whoop whoop and does it rhythmically to pull that record back to where he needs to be. And it is. I'll find the video and I'll show you it. It's and I don't think he's ever really done it publicly. It's just something he's messed around with. But it's the most wonky thing ever. And Crafty's in the background. And when he starts it, it's that wonky. Crafty goes.
Oh, was it a DMC?
No, is it the Scratch Calf?
No, is it the Scratch Calf?
One of the early Scratch Calf.
Which
Crafters?
Crafters.
He's one of the guys.
You'll know him. You'll know him. Yeah.
You recognise him.
And he's like, it's that wonky.
Sorry, dude.
Yeah, he's that wonky. He's just like whoa, like that.
When you said Crafters, I thought you meant Cutmaster Swift.
No. I'll send you the video, but that's my favourite juggle, and you can find it on the Scratch Calf page, deep in the videos. It was like when we were at the Croft, when we were at the fucking
Cloak.
The Cloak, yeah.
Ah.
Real early.
I like that twisted strobe thing that I've got, where you can. Like, this is a juggle I can do. It's not my favourite juggle ever, but like where you you drop it, then you baby scratch the second beat, and then you're going into like on the snares, you're going into a swing strobe kind of thing. But then the next move, instead of doing the tap pausing that you do with a strobe, you actually just do the crossfader. So what you're doing is you're going too far forward in the record, which means that on both the right and left sides, you've got to do something. You've got to repeat a sound to bring yourself back into the right rhythm.
Okay.
So what you end up with is this like dun 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 ka 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 ka. And it enables you to basically like play certain elements or sounds several times, and then you can use that tap pausing thing to then re-loop it, because you can rewind while you're tap pausing on one side.
Okay.
So I really like that, because it's got the swing sort of strobe sound, but it's like almost totally
By
different.
the way, all these juggles that we're talking about, I think if we make them into a reel, I think we should definitely insert sound examples rather than just listening to three blokes talk about our techniques. It's much more important if we just like this sound and like that. 100%.
All right. Well, yeah. I know you love doing stuff like that, Liam. So yeah.
That was the best sign up.
Just stitched himself, didn't he?
17 hours of work.
Now I've fucking done it.
And make sure you highlight you saying that so people know.
Yeah.
By the way, Liam did all that.
Maybe a good idea to put. Here's another one. Here's another one. I've called this bullet point, don't go Van Halen on the cut at a gig.
I know what you mean by that.
Yeah.
That can be...
that's a long lesson to
I'm
learn.
guilty of that. Like in my early DJing years, I'm fully guilty of that. Like where you're just so kind of self-obsessed with your cutting that everyone goes... I don't know what you're doing, mate. You kind of, it's like a thing of like losing the crowd, essentially.
Yeah, what I said about it earlier from doing that friend's birthday party.
Yeah.
Like I think.
What was it? It wasn't just the juggling; it was the cuts as well.
Cut everything. I was just like, so obviously I get really bored really quick, and I've been DJing for so long that instead of DJing, I end up like, doing little social experiments. Just to see, do you know what I mean? I was just bored, and then I was like...
I think that's what Scratch DJs pretty much do anyway. We're there to kind of like go, by the way...
Yeah, but I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna do something complicated and something simple, just see the reaction. Did something really complicated that in the Scratch Cafe would have gone, oh. Well, maybe I would have gotten all.
Yeah.
But at least 3 people would have awed me.
Yeah, sure.
But the people I was around, they didn't understand what I was doing. I did a baby scratch. They were like, "Oh, look at that!"
Yeah.
And I'd like, do a quick two click flare.
No,
I don't do any of the more complicated stuff. I can do live.
You can't, man.
I mean, you've seen some of my DJ sets. I keep it real simple. And I probably scratch for a total of 3 minutes across an hour.
Same.
And I might do one beat juggle. I've been doing quite a fun one with Backbone. Because you ain't got no backbone, you ain't got no, and then you can you can gradually go you ain't, and then swap across to doing those so that you can go, and then you can go you ain't got no back, and drop it, and that's wicked. So that works, right? Because people are so obsessed with that tune, and they're like, what the fuck, and that kind of works. But other than that. Well, there's no real flourishes in my.
So there is one technique that is proper Eddie Van Halen style that always works with a crowd, and that's when you do the and get faster. Well, that is the only really and I bring that up because your set at the
at Motion,
like those kids didn't know what was happening in front of them.
They kind of did, but they just weren't expecting it. So anyone who's listening to this, basically I did a set at Motion. Can I just say
Liam will be inserting this in the video in post production.
Hey, sure. So I should probably preface this by saying, can we just say shout out to Motion?
Big time. They're done now.
Yeah, they're done. It was their final weekend this week at the time of recording. It's the 21st of July, and just want to give a big shout out to everyone that was involved at Motion. RIP to a amazing venue, done a lot for the scene in Bristol, and fully tip our hats to everyone who's been involved at that venue. They've done so much for the scene. Should I also add, I spoke to some of the people that work at Motion, and they've kept their cards very close to their chest, but they have a venue. But they haven't told me where, they haven't told me when, but they've just said...
Guess what? I know where and I know when.
Oh, do you? Well,
one of the beauties of servicing turntables for rental companies.
Oh man! Well, let's just.
I know everything.
I'm super jealous of that, but also for the purposes of the listeners, let's keep that stum.
I'm not going to say it live because I'll be killed and I'll probably
of course.
But I can show off about knowing.
But basically, that set you would say. I'm so jealous that you know that. Basically that set was so much fun. That's kind of. From listening to Static's, from listening to Static's episode, there was one point where you guys were talking about juggling, and I remember Static saying, "Oh yeah, like strobing's all well and good, but you can't really just necessarily do it in a rave scenario." No. Which I fully agree with. Like you can't just go straight from like blending these really headsy kind of underground tunes into a straight juggle. That scenario in that clip that's on my Instagram is a little bit of a different situation where my mate Yancey, I dropped a Sully tune called Work, which is like a modern day like jungle banger. It's such an amazing tune, and Yancey ran in from the wings and just wheeled the tune. He just ran in, just went just wheeled it, and I thought, well, I've got to start from the beginning, and by complete coincidence, I forgot that I had juggled that tune. Yeah. And I had
the cue points there.
I had all the cue points set up, just there, ready to go, and I thought, fuck it, why not? Why not? I mean,
that's
I'm here.
That's a cool situation actually, because if you wheel it out, then the crowd's expecting the same song again, and then you juggle it.
Exactly.
But then you're left with, when you've got these skills, you're left with a choice. Do I just play a really boring intro? Or do I do something interesting with the intro?
I wanted to do something interesting, but I didn't want it to be... It cannot go over their head.
Yeah.
It has to stay at an
understandable thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Adding some extra beats in here and there that don't sound like it, doubling a couple of bits up. And
I just kept it a straight back and forth. Like maybe a few babies, a few stabs. I didn't want to overcomplicate because, most of the punters here aren't. I'll go out on a limb and say they're mainly D&B jungle heads,
and mainly off their head on
and mainly off their head,
and
booze and whatnot. The one rule I have with that in that kind of scenario is keep it as straightforward, as simple and straightforward as you can, but also go ham.
Yeah.
So that was just my thought process. It's like just build the tension, and don't fuck this up, because this could be a really good pinnacle point, and I think it for me that was the highlight of the set.
The reaction was so good.
Oh man, like when I got it, when I nailed it onto the beat, I was like,
really?
Oh, that's that.
I saw that video, and I was like, oh, that's really good. And I was like, oh, that's fucking Liam.
Oh no, I'm bored now.
I felt really proud of you. I was like, go on, mate. Go on.
Dude.
Yeah.
I think. Have we got time for like one more topic?
As long as we keep it quiet.
Yeah,
really?
sure.
Okay, so we're in the whispering section.
This
is the ASMR.
This is the evening hour on talking turntablism from the Scratch Cafe.
The key about this is to not make me laugh, Liam.
Yeah,
if we're trying to be quiet.
Well, this is part of the challenge. You have to.
I quite like the sort of sexy voice that Gabe on there.
Quite nice, isn't it? Yeah. Dan's getting aroused. It's a hot summer day.
So
it's a sweaty.
Basically,
It's a sweaty podcast studio.
I'm not gonna lie, it's fucking roasting in here, man.
So fucking
Yeah,
wrap it up,
mate.
Liam. Jesus Christ, the kids are trying to sleep. I'm too hot. I've got things to do. Hurry up. You want one more? Fucking hurry up.
Fucking hell, if you ever want to make me feel under pressure, Jesus. Yeah, basically, I think the other thing I think, just to talk about the whole of the season that we've had with Talking Turntablism, I think one of the greatest things that I think that's been brought up, it's not been the battles for me. It's not been the kind of the trials and tribulations of every DJ that's been through their battles in every episode has been amazing to listen to, because you get a lot of insight information that is, I feel, priceless for the whole like length of these podcast episodes. But I think the one thing that I've taken away from this that I think is so fundamentally important to acknowledge is like just the neurodiversity of all these DJs is such a fundamental important thing to acknowledge. Like you yourself as well, man, for a start, with ADHD and the fact that the Scratch Cafe is just such a pool of like neurospicy individuals. Like me myself, I was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome when I was 8.
Yeah.
When I was 8 years old, which for 1994 is like super like progressive for the 90s to like notice it. But I should probably point out that the National Autistic Society no longer recognise him because of his connection to the Nazis.
Really?
Yeah. So Hans Asperger was basically he was, that's where his name comes from. With Asperger's syndrome, he was then found out to being basically, he was sending these children off that he diagnosed.
So wait there. So this is why whenever somebody says Asperger's to me, and I've always wondered why I've associated
Asperger.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I've always associated that with deaf camps, and I've never known why.
So.
And that's why.
It's just a really
I've watched
sad.
some
I
weird
don't want to bring.
documentary
I don't want to bring the tone down, but basically,
we're on a low tone anyway. Carry on.
They discovered that he had been sending these children that he had diagnosed to Nazi camps
because they were
to be
seen
killed.
as disabled.
But because he had found them with this disability that was like, oh, get rid of them. So the National Autistic Society have now distanced themselves from it, and it's now and it used to be called. Well, some regions of the world call it autistic spectrum disorder, which a lot of the people in the Autistic Society don't really like. They prefer condition. Yeah. So ASC, autistic spectrum condition, because disorder carries a little bit of it carries a bit more stigma.
Well, it's like it's wrong, isn't it?
Well, it's interesting. So we study psychometric assessments and the experience that autistic and neurological damaged people and folks with learning disabilities. What's really interesting about the autistic group is that while they might identify as having autism, 84% of them do not identify as having a disability.
Well, it's not a disability,
because it's not.
I think that's something. Yeah, I think that's. I can see that.
But obviously, in a recruitment context or whatever, where we're kind of assessing people and we're going to put something in front of you that is quite a lot simpler for someone who's neurotypical versus so from the recruitment's perspective, they're like, oh yeah, it's a disability, but obviously from the person, they're like, no, it's not.
Well,
it's
no.
Superpower,
Do
man.
you know the really interesting thing about this subject? And I was speaking to my brother last night, and my brother's sort of at the forefront of using AI in general businesses, and he got invited to have offices at the UWE, which is like, do you know what I mean? Just for businesses that are utilising AI.
University of West of England.
Yeah. So there's a special like tech offices.
His office is in the robotics lab.
Lab, basically. Wow. So and he's a mortgage advisor. So they started using AI in mortgage advice and utilising AI in mortgage. So he's really at the forefront of that sort of thinking. And he said to me last night, we're at an age now where being neurodivergent in essence is creativity. ADHD or autism is creativity. And he said, Ollie, if you were, at this moment now, businesses need creative people because AI does everything non-divergent people do.
Exactly.
So at this point now, having neurodivergence is going to suddenly become like
the firewall.
At the top of your CV is, I am one of the most autistic motherfuckers you've ever met, and they're going to be like, you need to come and work for us.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
I used to kind of like put because I personally feel, I'm sure there's other people who have picked up turntablism far more quicker than me. But I feel that in the window of like the first 3 years of my turntablism, I was really shocked at how quickly I picked up some techniques that I thought were just completely beyond me. And part of me wanted to put it down to the fact that I learned drumming when I was younger, when I was in school. But also, I guess when I subjectively step away and I look back on it, I think it is safe for me to say that no, I think it is definitely part of my condition.
It is, definitely.
That is like propelled my obsession with this craft and this art form that we absolutely love.
Well, it sits, people like us, it sits in our perfect place. And the world for people with these neurodivergencies like ADHD and autism, the general world is a vile place because it survives on all of the things that we have in droves, and that is not being able to connect, not being able to sit still, not being able to follow rules, and not being able to do things the way they're supposed to be done because we go, no, my brain don't work like that, I can't do that, and it takes everything I've got to do that. And then you go to a set of turntables and it's like, this is my world, I do it my way and I do it well, and nobody can tell me anything. So it kind of just, it is why these disciplines like playing the guitar, bass, is where we sit basically, and creativity is where we sit, which is so interesting.
There's also the prospect of like, as a neurodivergent person, when you've prepared something for months and you debut it to someone, and especially when it's in front of an audience of 400 people, it's the weirdest thing to do, because part of me goes, I can't wait to show you guys what I've done. And I can't believe I'm about to say this, but at the same time I go, thank fuck that's over. Thank fuck that's over. I don't need to do this routine again.
It's done.
Unless you're going to the world final, which you have to do it again. But that's besides the point. The point is, I think also the other difficult thing is trying your hardest to make it look like this is the first time you're doing it. That's the difficult bit, because you should be to the point where you're so sick and tired of hearing this routine, so bored of it, you can't afford to look.
Do you know what? With that birthday party I did, and I built this set based of all of these samples, and I did some tricky bits, and I transitioned, and I was like, I practiced it every day. And I very rarely do the same thing every day unless I'm being paid to do it. And I practice it every day, and I had exactly that. I was like, the birthday's coming up, I'm going to do this set once, I never have to do it again. And I did it, and I was like, fuck for that. But I absolutely love doing it, and it was a staple part of my routine for 2 weeks.
Do you know what's funny is you saying that is that, like, me and you, Dan, when we finished, it's the one thing I completely... I've heard you say it a few times on some of the episodes past, especially I think it was on Tommy's and on Statics, was how post DMC, how your techniques can be just applied to so many other tunes. And how you don't really need to think about like, okay, I have this tune set aside for this technique. You don't think about, I can only apply it to that. You go, let me just have a little play around with something that I originally did in this battle routine, but I'll apply it to something where I'm like not under pressure, and I can actually see how sonically it will. Just be a little bit selfish and self-indulgent for a bit. But obviously I'm not just anyone listening, don't do that for the whole set. But like, I think it's important for us to have a little bit of like a few 15-20 seconds of self-indulgence.
Definitely.
Because otherwise you get fucking
intro
bored.
In the middle and the peak end.
Precise.
Right? Like Daniel Cardiman's peak end theory, right? That's they're your tricks. Right? People remember the beginning and the end of something, and they remember the peak in the middle. So they're your moments to do it. Because they're your moments to differentiate. But outside of that, I mean, keep it dance.
I mean, this is why I'll never enter the DMC or a competition.
You reckon?
I refuse to follow those rules. What you want? No. What you want? I need to do to win this.
To be fair, he was gonna instead of this, he was gonna go into the battle supremacy.
I was gonna do it.
The judges.
I got excited, and I was like, do you know what? I really want to do the DMC, but I'm not gonna judge the competition. I'm not gonna diss the competition. I'm gonna diss the judges.
Sorry, I know.
And I was like, random. I got a really good idea. And he was like, what? And I was like, I want to do a DMC routine, and I want to diss the judges. He went, Ollie, you will get removed and beaten up. I was like, what do you mean? He was like, you would, if you diss the judges, you were taking the piss out of the whole thing. And I was like, this is why I'm never going to enter the DMC.
Oh man, I can't. Like, can you imagine? Should we just use this year's panel as an example? If I fucking did a Babu's blind alley routine at him, and then if I did like, I don't know, John first like used one of his juggles, like of one of his tunes towards him, like, be like, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
Static did it to Richie Rough.
He did, mate. I was driving in the car when listening to that episode, and when that bit came up, I remember I started laughing.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Oh, dude, I laughed so hard at that because I can see Richie's face go, what the fuck? I think if anyone, in any case, if you heard the tune you've been practicing suddenly come out of the speaker system, you'd think your faders were up.
Yeah.
You'd be like, what the fuck? I think, honestly, I think fair play to Static. I think if you're content with the fact, like, I'm gonna fucking lose.
Yeah.
I might as well have a bit of fun with this. And you get the audience on your side because they know exactly what you're doing, and you know you did it at the right time. I think that I would, to be fair to Jordan, I would have definitely given it to him based on those values because it was and I think impeccable timing. Especially when you think didn't he say it wasn't even stickered up? He had to sticker it up first.
Yeah.
That's working.
It's on proper records. It's on records. Yeah. The lack of having them on real records.
I got to say another thing. Also, that was one of the main things why I didn't enter DMC for a really long time, because I was fed up with the fact that they just weren't like a lot. Of course, we're in this competition, and much respect to DMC, and I'm grateful that they've moved forward with technology. But at the time, I was like, I'm not entering this competition because they're just not moving with the time. Like, there's quite a few guys I spoke to in the past who were like, yeah, I'd love to do DMC, but like doing straight vinyl, I mean, like, I've been using DVS for like 5-6 years. Why would I want to go recess and go back to using a medium that is one I'm at risk of, like, especially with bass bins. I mean, Jordan said the other day in the episode that they had bass bins on the stage. That's
what they tend to do.
That's a death sentence for you.
All the venues now do that because they want them out of the way and nobody uses vinyl.
Yeah.
But we better, because basically there won't be another podcast because Dan will be killed if we don't end this match.
Okay, let's round this up. So, highlights from this season. What do you think?
Me?
Yeah, of course you.
Yeah, me, yeah. I'm the highlight.
You're the highlight.
Yeah. I always will be, yeah.
Of course. I mean, we want to give a shout out to Roundup, obviously, as well.
Oh, I talk about Random all the time whenever I get a chance, so yeah, that's not unnecessary. Plus, he'd hate it if you gave him a shout and started kissing his ass. So yeah, I love Random.
Yeah, but
I'm the highlight of the
collect
season.
some clothes and donate them to Mr. Callahan.
Yeah.
I am.
Who do we? So let's list everyone. I mean, what have we had? We've had. Don't list me, by the way. We've had Random.
Should we just do this? Should we just do it properly? Wait,
let's do this properly. Let's do this properly.
So Random.
Because before you do that, because we don't want to go shouting at anybody we haven't had on yet that we've got in our bank. So just go on to.
I know. Everyone.
There we go. Right. So
good.
Random.
So we've got Random.
Fuck, I can't even get on there. So shit I am.
We've got Random.
Right. So we've got
Jimmy Needles.
So we had Random, Rasp, Jimmy Needles.
Just wait for the list, you bloody lunatics. Because if we miss someone out, that'd be terrible.
Okay.
Random. Needles. XL. Luke Skywalker. John First. Revrt. Rasp.
Yeah.
Luke did a few for Tommy Peanuts. Static.
And Buck Wild.
That's up to date.
Yeah, massive
and
big
by
up
the time
to-
this goes out, we would have had Rasps in room, and we would have had. That's it. That's it. Yeah.
So obviously,
huge shout out to all the DJs.
Yeah. Big time.
Massive thank you to everyone as well who has agreed to come on for the next set of these that we're going to do. We've got some really awesome
Really
guests.
awesome guests coming up.
They've told me as well, and I cannot wait to hear those episodes.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about that. And a huge thanks to everyone who's
And of
just
course,
listened.
Revrt will be back on a regular basis. I'm hoping to get you in every 3 podcasts.
Cheers.
That's
Cheers,
what
guys.
I want to do.
Yeah, cool.
Definitely, mate. Yeah,
Sure.
definitely. It's a pleasure having you
Cheers.
join us and listen along and be a part of it, man. So, yeah.
Hopefully Dan won't be murdered by his wife.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go home and relax.
Yeah.
Wonderful. End of season 1, I
Yeah.
suppose.